We have some great speakers with some awesome information for you this afternoon. Let me start off with introducing you to Jay Kinder. Jay is a real estate entrepreneur who went from small town kid to master business growth strategist, recognized throughout the real estate industry. Jay will round out our afternoon together. Jay, tease us to what you'll be speaking about later this afternoon.
Yeah, super excited to be here. I'm excited to share the things that I've used to grow my business and really to grow the business of many other agents to become the top agents in their marketplaces. So I'm all about building things to scale and grow so that you can continuously grow in your career and ultimately have more time off and more weekends. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about wealth building strategies and things to really make your career as the best way it could possibly be. And so, yeah, I'm excited to share what we've got, and we'll see you guys here a little bit shortly, I guess, after I'm the last one up. So I'll see you guys towards the end, it looks like.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jay. This sounds great. You'll all want to stick around and not miss Jay. Next up, we have Rick Lambert. Rick Lambert is an award-winning sales performance coach and digital marketing strategist who's been selected by over 500 companies to help their salespeople market and sell to win. Yes, way to interrupt me. Rick is the founder and CEO of selltowin.com and Into Communications. Rick, give us a glimpse into your segment this afternoon.
I'm on today.
Yeah, okay. You are. Do you have your slides ready?
Hey, team. I'm Rick Lambert. Thank you for joining me today. I'm really proud to be a part of Kevin's event today. I work with a lot of different companies in different industries, and I think one thing you would agree is that this digital wave is hitting all of us. And I want to talk today about best practices used in other industries I think you can use immediately as a professional real estate person to supercharge your digital DNA with video. So I'll tell you some stories, some good ones, I hope, and hopefully make you chuckle along the way. But what I'm going to try and do is help you with a roadmap you can use right away to differentiate yourself versus your competition. That's what I'll be talking about today, Melissa.
Well, I'm excited. Next up, we have Kevin Flaherty. Let me introduce you to Kevin officially. Kevin, 33 years in the real estate business, overall #1 top producer in his former company of 1,800 plus realtors for 10 straight years, leads one of the most productive real estate teams in Canada, former international real estate coach for 4 years, quickly achieved eXp Realty's highest honor of Icon Agent. Oh, I'm tired, Kevin. Those are a lot of things, but we're excited. You know, Kevin, what should people expect today? We have some great things to give away if folks stick around to the end. Give us a sneak peek also into what you'll be talking about.
Yeah, so first of all, overall, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I didn't want the same content people can see online all the time. There's a lot of training around just lead generation, and you know, how to run a Facebook ad and what's the best Facebook ad. And I wanted to get away from that. I mean, if somebody wants that, there's lots of it on YouTube. What I wanted to do today was talk about, we are going to give lead gen strategies, but the ones we're going to give are going to be how you generate free, first of all. And we're going to tie that into marketing and improving your services. Like for an example, Tesla, I mean, smashed all the major automobile producers, and they don't run ads for their cars. So improving the service or improving the product, we're going to have a look at that. We're going to see what kind of things and give people ideas on what they can do. We're going to look at USP, so how to uniquely position yourself with a unique selling proposition. Going to also talk about converting leads, because after you get leads, you know, what are you saying to them? What are you doing to convert them? Some gold nuggets there, and some team building stuff. That'll be my first segment. I'll be up twice. And the second segment's going to blow their minds. It's going to talk about where we're at today, where we're going, how to position yourself in advance to take full advantage of it. And we're going to also give a free tool right at the end that will make doing what we show about 10 times easier.
Awesome. Great. Well, Kevin, let's just have a quick chat before we get into the meat of today. Why did you bring Rick and Jay in? People may know them, may not know them, but what's your thought process there?
Yeah, so again, I want to be a little different. So we always hear from speakers that are realtors, we're realtors, coaches and stuff. Rick's right outside the industry, and he's a big player in that space for helping companies and teams grow and build their brands. So wanted to hear from something outside the industry to put a different spin on things. Jay, on the other hand, just a rock star realtor. He completely dominated his market. Little tiny town, Lawton, Oklahoma, selling 500 homes. I mean, I think they had one restaurant in the town. So if you want to know how to dominate your marketplace, Jay's the guy to talk to.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, before we start, let's get everyone engaged here. Let's jump into some polls. Okay. And I'm going to put the first one up here. Length of time in real estate. How long have you been in real estate? Less than a year, 2 to 5 years, 6 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 plus. Let's just see.
Yeah, let's get an idea of who's here.
We hope no one's sleeping here. Come on, guys. We're almost there. We almost have everyone in, and then I'll launch it.
Okay.
Kevin, how long have you been in the industry total?
33 years, coming up on 34 years.
Awesome. You're only 44. So you started when you were 10.
I started when I was 10.
Oh, we're almost there. We're almost there. Come on, everyone. We're just a couple shy. All right. I'm just going to end it and throw it up here. So Kevin, here we go. 27% in the 11 to 20 and 18% 21 plus. That's awesome. We've got the full gamut here.
Yeah, we do. Good mixture.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, next thing up, next pull up. Number of transactions completed in 2021. Less than 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 50, 51 to 100, or 100 plus.
If someone's here that did over 100 plus.
Wow, that's incredible.
I have to call them up.
That's incredible. Awesome. Wow. They're still flowing in here.
This also gives us an idea on anything we want to do to customize content along the way.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, just need a few more here. They're still rolling in. Okay. So,
whoa,
look at that. That's incredible.
We do have someone that did over 100 transactions.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Name in the chat.
Not everyone participated in this, but of those who did, this is amazing. Awesome. Okay, next up. What is your role currently? Are you a single agent? Are you a member of a team leader, or a brokerage owner? Let's see where we are here. Kevin, what's your guess? What's your guess?
I think most are going to be single agents. We're going to have team leaders and maybe a few broker owners.
All right. All right. You're close. You're close. You're really close. Actually, it's growing. It's growing. It's growing. Okay, let's just launch this here. Here's the results.
There we go.
63% single, 30% member of a team, 2% team leader, and 5% brokerage owner. Awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for participating.
Good.
Okay, Kevin, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you to cover marketing versus paid lead gen and converting leads and team building. So over to you.
Righty. Let me just share my screen here.
Got that?
Yep.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to be going fast because I wanted to jam in a lot of value for you guys. So keep up and take screenshots if you wish. My number one strategy for getting free buyer leads, that I put the strategy up against paid leads, by the way, and you can do it yourself fairly easily. And I'll bet you're not doing it, and I'll bet no one else has showed it to you because I don't see it being used. If you see it being used, I mean, throw in the chat where you've seen it being used. It's a pretty big deal. So first of all, a couple of facts on how we can do this. The number one thing buyers want is to know about listings matching their criteria. This is going to be pretty big to consider when we consider how we want to attract them. The next thing is, I know you want sellers, and I know everybody wants appointments. Well, here's bottom line. Sellers first show up as buyers in the marketplace, generally speaking. I know there's exceptions. The buyers are found in the greatest number on realtor.ca. So, by the way, usage in realtor.ca was up 71%, or sorry, 71% in 2021. And one of the things I wanted to show you was that's a record we hit in 2021. We had 1 million visitors in just one day. So basically the buyers are at realtor.ca. We know what they want. We also know that it includes the sellers. So what can we do with that? How can we extract from there? The secret is basically a custom website, but that's just part of it. What we want to do is we want to tie in a listing that you have, and that's one of the caveats. You got to have a listing, but you got to be ready for it. Tie in a listing that you have to your custom web page. And here's where the secret lies. Not many people have custom web pages. And if you have a custom web page, here's what you need to do. The content that's being consumed by buyers is listings. If we pepper, they want to consume all the information on the listing. If we pepper lead generators through the content, that is going to give you the biggest result. So what happened was I discovered this when I had 20, 30 different websites that offered different bits of information, and I was advertising ads all over the place, driving traffic on all these different pages to my site. And then one day I came along a tool that I did a heat map on my website, and here's what I saw on the heat map. The traffic was coming from realtor.ca, hitting the listing, because I was at least doing that, and then it was leaving from there too, or the majority of it. So that's where I got the idea from, peppering the content, and this is powerful. Let me show you a real live example of this. Just give me a second, and I will run over here. I'm going to share another screen with you. All right, so this is a real live listing today on realtor.ca. First thing I want to point out is if you do a custom web page and it has a variety of things, you can light up all these buttons. So if it has audio tour, you can light that up. Brochure, photos, anybody can throw a map on there. I'm sure you got photos, but light all these up. And these, in fact, if you wanted to count them, we've got one here, viewed listing on the Realtor website, one here, that's 2, 5 here. That's 7 links all together. Pretty easy to stumble into. And all of them, doesn't matter which one you click on, will take you to the home's custom website. Now, in the content, that's what they're consuming. What you want to do is, well, I can tell you the #1 question because it's based on the #1 thing they want. See more home, this home's in Thornton. See more Thornton listings like this one in real time. So if you click on there, it'll take you right to your HDX site. If you don't know what HDX or IDX is, send me a direct message. We'll sort that out. Basically, there's Thornton, and here's homes in the area listed in that price range. And of course, you've now brought them into your ecosystem. And if they click on something, it's going to ask them for their information. So that's the first best hook based on what we know about buyers at this location. But then we can also throw what's your home really worth, because those sellers are in there too. Hey, unique selling proposition, our exclusive marketing team, why 16 times more people choose us. Click on that, you get that information, still peppering it through the information on the site. And then down at the bottom, we can even start showing in your portfolio. There's another listing of ours. There's one we just sold, and there's another one we just sold last week. So shows the portfolio. If you're not collecting reviews, you want to be collecting reviews and storing them. I think you'll notice, how many do I have? So the challenge with reviews is, you can get them on one spot, but sometimes hard to get them in multiple places. So you got to be even more diligent. If you want Google reviews, and you want realtor.ca reviews, are 2 separate locations, and we can still keep driving them into other areas. So that is, let's jump back over to our presentation here. So that's an example of what we're doing with custom web pages driving free leads. Now, if you do this, you will be extremely shocked at the results and how powerful this strategy is. Any website that, now the first thing you might be thinking is, oh, I don't know how to build a custom website. Listen, there's websites out there that give you what they call, that stands for what you see is what you get editor. In other words, you don't have to be a website programmer. I mean, if you imagine a Word document, you can drop pictures in, you can drop text in, you can change things around. That's a what you see is what you get editor. So I'd recommend having a place where you can drive traffic and do up a custom website yourself. On the Toronto Real Estate Board, where we're located, there's branded sites and unbranded sites. Obviously, this is a branded site, so it's going to show up on realtor.ca, but won't show up in realtors' feeds when they're sending them listings. But that's where the buyers are, and we already gave you an example of those. So because sellers first show up as buyers, this is your chance to shine by showing them exactly what a good job you do. So different line of thinking here. Instead of thinking I need to talk to them to tell them, show them, because that's where they are. And that's the best way to do it. And that brings us to unique selling propositions, which I think is one of the most underutilized things in real estate. People think they have a unique selling proposition, but the reality is, well, it needs to be unique in your market. First of all, it's not unique to you if a whole bunch of people are doing it. And here's the thing, when you're thinking about your unique proposition, think of it from the seller standpoint. If it's not going to get them more money faster and easier, they're probably not going to see a lot of value in it. You got to be able to demonstrate that it's true. So here's the easiest way to demonstrate that it's true. Make it so it is true. This is an interesting angle. Competitors need to shy away from doing it. Listen, if you had a fantastic idea that generated you lots of business and it was easy to do, guess what would be happening? Everyone would be doing it. So you're going to shy away from a couple of things I show you, and I'm going to encourage you to keep an open mind, because I'm going to show you that you can do them or talk to you about doing them that is not as scary as you think it is. At the end of the day, we all want, I'm talking about sellers here because that's what we all want to get, because I think we all know that if we get the sellers, we do much better because that leads to more buyers. The number one question you need to answer for a seller, even if they don't ask it, by the way, is why should I list my home with you above and beyond all the other options I have out there, including agents that are willing to do it cheaper? If your unique selling proposition is, hey, I can do this a lot cheaper, you're not going to be in business long. And if you are in business, you're going to be doing it as a hobby because you like doing it, working days, evenings, weekends, killing yourself because you won't be making a lot of money doing it. And by the way, there's no bottom. I've already gone up against free, by the way. The agent I was just talking to is willing to do it free. All I have to do is, promise I'll buy from him and he'll do it free. I'm already going up against that stuff. So there is no bottom. And we're going to talk to you about making videos today. One of the most powerful videos you can make is a unique selling proposition video, showing your stuff, showing what you do that differentiates you from others. Now, so I'm going to be showing you a portion of our team's, it's fairly short, I promise, of our team's unique selling proposition video. By the way, someone said on registration, we were asking questions, what you want to see. One of them was a lady asking about team structure. What positions exist on a team for building a team? That's going to answer your question. And it's going to, by its very nature, you're going to shy away from this. You're going to think, I can't possibly do this. And I don't want to do it. And that would be hard and complicated. By its very nature, it will remain a unique selling proposition, probably in your marketplace, if you do this. So at the end of this event, I'm going to be also showing you how you can do exactly what we're doing and make it 10 times easier with a very special free tool. And we'll show you exactly how you can get that. So for now, have a look at this short clip and pay close attention, because it's going to form a lot about what we talk about afterwards. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Ross Adamson, and I'm in charge of measurements and two-dimensional floor plans here at the Kevin and Flaherty Home Selling System team. I was hired into this position primarily as my experience producing forensic floor plans for a regional police department. My job is to produce highly accurate floor plans. These floor plans are designed to give the buyer a detailed analysis of the layout of the home and indicate where the measurements were taken. This also enables us to provide the exact square footage of the home. The 2D floor plans are then given to the production department and form the base for 3D renderings and animations.
Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm the 3D modeler for the team. I have multiple degrees related to 3D modeling and design. My job entails visiting each of our listings and recording the home's textures, colors, and architectural details. These are then converted to a digital format, which I use along with the 2D floor plans generated by our team to create a 3D base mesh of the home. I then begin adding all the small details, which include doors, windows, trim, appliances, and everything else your home has to offer. Our animation team is highly skilled and is capable of perfectly matching every detail of your home, from wall colors to doorknobs. Once the 3D floor plan is complete, we render a camera animation to create a 3D video fly-through of the home. This is combined with the marketing components produced by other members of the team to create the final video narrated, 3D animated online showing. We also render still images of our 3D floor plans and use these in conjunction with our 2D floor plans found on the home's custom web page.
Hi, I'm James, and I'm the professional photographer and videographer. Here on the Flaherty team, we use state-of-the-art equipment to capture images and video in the proper light and with minimal distortion at wide angles. Not only do we photograph and take video of the home, but we also take time to shoot individual features that add to the home's value. I then use digital Lightroom software to enhance each and every photo to make sure it is represented in the best possible lighting. Another job of mine is piloting our unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, commonly referred to as a drone. I use our drone to capture video and photography from a perspective that is impossible to achieve from the ground. The aerial representation highlights the home's outdoor features as well as shows the surrounding area. I also animate 3D property lines into all of our drone footage so that prospective buyers can easily see the home's boundaries and understand exactly what they're looking at. I'm also responsible for signage. We offer a wide variety of signs, from large property signs to small subdivision signs. We also install a custom sign writer that includes a text code that makes it very easy for potential buyers to view the home's video narrated 3D animated online showing.
Hi, I'm Julie Levitt. I'm the graphic designer here on the team. I work on the still representation of the home, which includes the feature sheets, but I'm also the narrator for our video narrated, 3D animated online showings. Our feature sheets are extremely detailed, and the goal of them is to walk the buyer through the home again. The feature sheets not only include photos and details of the home, but they also include the 3D floor plans, as well as flat floor plans with measurements. Our feature sheets are then professionally printed into a book-style format and are available for all buyers to pick up at each home. One of the most important parts about our online representation is that our video animated online showings are also narrated. The narration is great as it gives the buyers all the details of the home without having them read through volumes of text, which they most likely won't do.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm the web developer as well as the syndication and SEO expert. I have a diploma in web development and design. It is my job to create each home's custom web page using components produced in other departments. After I complete the home's custom web page, I then syndicate the online showing to over 57 locations online. Our syndication network is just one of the many things we use to ensure your home's maximum exposure to potential buyers. It's made up of various social media sites, search engines, blogs, and more.
Hi, my name is Lisa and I'm the Database Manager and Marketing Coordinator. I possess multiple Google Ads certifications and I was hired into this position for my expertise in developing and utilizing predictive analytics. This technology uses statistical techniques such as predictive modeling, machine learning, and data mining, which analyze current and historical facts to make predictions on people who are most likely to buy a home. We then use this information to market our listings directly to those most likely to purchase within a given type, price range, and location. We also utilize 3 full-time salary-based realtors who work shifts 7 days a week and whose primary job function is to call and present our listings directly to those buyers. Let's meet those realtors now.
Hi, my name is Rena.
I'm Alana.
And I'm Kelly.
Although the 3 of us are fully licensed realtors, our duties and responsibilities on the Flaherty team don't take us out of the office.
We all work shifts from 9 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., 7 days a week, doing nothing but contacting buyers most likely to purchase our sellers' homes.
Although the number of active buyers can vary given a certain price range or location, we frequently have between 600 to over 1,000 buyers already identified for any home that we list.
We also ensure that any inquiries made into our sellers' homes are answered, often without delay.
All right, so that brings us into unique selling propositions. So first of all, it's not hard to have a custom web page for homes. Like I said, what you see is what you get, editor. You can get very familiar with how to put up your own web page, and now you can customize it based on you can have a survey for the home, floor plans, other things that you may end up coming up with that you want. Maybe you do iGuide or something of that nature where they provide a component that you can plug into a custom web page. So it's always smart to have a spot where you can customize. And when you do that, you'll start wanting to be able to come up with things to put into it. It's not overly complicated to narrate a video. Even if your video is only a slideshow of pictures right now, you can narrate it and bring it alive. And we'll talk to you about what the seller wants in a minute and how doing that can be a big deal to a seller. Syndicating your listing, I mean, you probably already put it at all kinds of places online. So find the best places in your local market where you can post listings and add that into a graphic of a syndication network that you can now say, I put your listing at all these locations. When I started out, before I had a team, I had a floor planner. And he did my floor plans for me. Or there's some services now that you can buy where you get a floor plan included into the services. So all you got to do is find that and be willing to do it. By the way, the narrated portion, when I started out, didn't have a team, I would type out what I want narrated, send it out onto the web, and there were people out there, very cheap, shockingly cheap, that can professionally narrate, and it came back as an audio file, and I overlaid it with the pictures. And you know, you don't have to have a whole team of employees doing this stuff. It could be maybe your floor planner is a local guy that does floor plans, like mine was, and he's a member of your team. Maybe your mortgage broker is a member of your team. Maybe you do. Maybe you syndicate, and that's you. Or you have somebody that does professional photos and videos. And now you can start showing that you have a team of people that help you. So custom web pages, we know we can do that. There's something else you can do with a custom web page. When you have a page with its own URL that's dedicated just to that house, you can grab data on that. And now this is a service as well, showing a seller instead of, you know, feedback. Typical feedback is, Realtor Bob thought there was too many stairs, or the buyer didn't like it because the colors and this and that. Instead of that being the feedback, now you can show how many people visit the home's custom web page, how long on average they're staying there, right? Which gives a really good indication as to the level of interest in the home. So you can have a syndication network, narration. So narration, when we go to a seller's home, here's what generally happens first. They walk us around the home. You're going to recognize this. And they speak to us, depending on the size of the home, anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour with large homes. And here's what they do. They tell us for an extended period of time about all of the great things regarding their home, all of the custom things they've done, and all the things that add value. It's really easy, by the way, to show the value of narration. All you have to do is say to the seller, okay, after you get sitting down, say to the seller, okay, we just spent, 20 minutes, 25 minutes walking through the home, and you told me all of the things that add value to your home. If I was to, if you weren't allowed to speak, Mr. Seller, would I know that you just put on a new roof and there's a transferable warranty, and the shingles, they're only 2 years old and they have a fiberglass flick in them that makes them, they're going to last a long time, they're 40-year shingles? Would I know that you updated the insulation to R40? And would I know that you said you've got a hot water on demand system and that you own it? Not everybody, even realtors, would recognize it, but would people commonly know is the hot water tank owned or rented? Because you said you paid $4,500 for that. If you couldn't tell me that and I was in the home, would I even know any of this kind of stuff? And the seller very quickly gets the value of narration, and you start distinguishing yourself. And by the way, it answers a lot of questions that buyers online want. Yeah. When it comes to 3D modeling, if you stick around to the end of this event, I'm going to show you something that would make doing this and providing this service, and to the broker owner I saw out there, you can attract more agents. Like this is probably going to look like hiring a person to provide this service, but you can attract more people to your team or to your brokerage by giving them unique selling propositions that they can use. Converting leads. All right, I'm going to go quick on this, but every time I meet, even senior realtors, they all claim, oh no, I got talking to people down pat. If I can get them on the phone, I got it down pat. But then when I role play with them to see what it's like, they don't obtain critical information. So I'm just going to go over the critical information bits you want to obtain when you're talking to a potential lead. But first of all, number one rule, and this cannot be underestimated. Your strategy for getting back to leads needs to be so that you get back in under 5 minutes. If you miss the importance of this and you're calling them even 30 minutes later, you're wasting the value of your hard-earned leads. So keep that in mind. And here's the thing. First of all, you got to know the objective of the conversation you're having with the lead. A lot of people don't know exactly where the ball is. If you're just quickly on this, if your phone rings and somebody says, hi, I'm Bob, you don't know them, and I want to see that home across the street, and you drop what you're doing, you run across and show them the home, you need to direct message me, and we need to talk about that. But I'm going to assume you're at the stage where you want to work with clients, not people that aren't obligated to work with you. So what's the objective of the conversation? And here's the basic information you want to be obtaining. First of all, make sure you start off by introducing yourself and telling them exactly why they're calling. And if they're a lead, I mean, you filled out your information on your site, you're looking for a home in this area, tell them why you're calling them. Don't say, hi, how are you today? Because they're going to say, who is this? I'm really busy. And it's going to start off bad. So make sure you introduce yourself. Here's the information. Determine if they have a house to sell, where they're living now, and if they own or rent, where they're moving to, when they want to move, why they want to move. If they have a realtor helping them already, do they have a pre-approved mortgage or not? I know we've all been out there. Okay, we've been killing ourselves, find them a home, and then they can't afford to buy it, or they have to include conditions for pre-approval, that kind of thing. buy first or sell first. You got to know this to know what offer you're going to make them. And make sure you don't take their search criteria over the phone. That's a meeting. And you offer them a free opinion of value. Yeah, make sure you ask them what they think their home is worth, because at the end of the day, if they're smoking crack and they think it's worth double what it is, maybe you don't even want to go. So response time's critical. The challenge with response time is if you're going to do it yourself, and you can, that's the way I did it when I was starting. I didn't matter what I was doing. I stopped and I'd take the call because I had to. I either take it live or I would react within 5 minutes to the lead. Now, there is a couple of different ways. People are going to talk about agencies you can get involved in that answer the calls for you and everything. I mean, it's a possibility. I don't like it. It's very, it's less likely to succeed. I'm familiar with a lot of them and a lot of different strategies. If you want to have a longer conversation about, you know, I can get somebody to work in the Philippines for $3 an hour. You know, I can talk to you. That's great, maybe as a graphic designer, but when it comes to answering and responding to your leads, in my opinion, not such a great idea. Clearly, as it's done on my team, we hire staff for the sole purpose of responding, working 7 days a week, night and day. Here's the bottom line: local knowledge. They do things the way you want, more dependable, longer term, they'll stay with you for a long time, easier to supervise. And as you grow, you have a built-in trainer. So if there is turnover in your department, you're probably not going to have to train the next person because you've already trained one and they can take on the training role. Number one secret to growing a successful team. I have a gold nugget here for you guys. Oh, hiring the right people. Yeah, thanks for that newsflash, Kev. No, that's not it. It's how you hire the right people. And this was a game changer for me. Here was the challenge. You run an ad. You get dozens and possibly hundreds of applications. They tell you very little, by the way. You spend time reviewing all of them and shortlisting them. And then you start off on your interviews. Start calling and setting up interviews. You begin interviewing and you realize most of the time you're in a room with a person you knew you weren't going to hire in the first 2 minutes you were in there. And now you got to figure out, how do I still got to ask the same question, how do I get out of this scenario? And you're trapped in there until you run the gauntlet. So that's the challenge. Oh, and by the way, you finally hire out of frustration. I figured out the answer. It is a big deal. And it's simply this: an automated online interview process. Run an ad in the best place local to your area. Include a link to the online video interview service. Basically, there's like 10 questions of your choosing that they record their video answers on. And depending on the service, you can query the service. Depending on the service that you use, you can have an app, and you can review the answers to the videos right there. And by the way, if in the first 2 minutes you know you're not going to hire them, you don't have to look at the rest of the videos. Your hiring team can rank them too, so you can get second opinions on these people from whoever you respect. And you can interview far more people faster and easier with a ton less inconvenience, and you don't let any gold nuggets slip through the cracks. You end up getting, ultimately, at the end of the day, a better hire. So that's our number one tip on team building. I've traveled. What happened was I traveled for decades across the continent to real estate seminars, conventions, even flew individually to interview top producing realtors at their office and get them to share. And here's the one thing that I discovered that they all have in common. And by the way, you're not going to like the answer. I didn't like the answer. I think I was told this, I'm going for a decade before I implemented it. It's not sexy, but it's the common denominator they all have. They all know their numbers. They can tell you exactly where they stand at any time in relation to their year, in relation to last year, and where they are this year, and in relation to their goals. The conversation rates at every point, conversion rates at every point. And they have reversed engineered where they want to be. So when you know your numbers, you know, if I run this many ads, I'm going to have this many conversations, I'm going to get this many appointments, I'm going to convert this many to clients, and I'm going to sell this many. And now you can reverse engineer it, and you know exactly what you have to do to accomplish your goal. The answer, by the way, this is what kept me from doing it for a long time, was there was no solution. The only solution I could find was a Excel spreadsheet that had about, I forget, something like crazy millions of formulas in the background. It was a nightmare. It didn't have an app that anybody could use. We actually built our own app to work with this thing. Anyways, it was crazy, wasted a lot of time. I did it, but then I discovered this thing, Sisu. And it's designed, so easy to use, and you can track. By the way, if you're coaching or you're running a team, you can keep people accountable on it. You can build out their plan, reverse engineer it. Here are the things you're going to do. And actually, I demonstrated to the team that under 60 seconds, you can account for your activities in a day. So 60 seconds a day, you can know everything about your business. And it's that extreme. The best place to learn about it is sisu.co. Go /KB or knowledge base. They actually shows their updates, and it shows all the features that they're bringing in with each update. That's the easiest place to learn about everything that it does, because it's crazy, some of the stuff. I'm not going to go into it in detail, because I'll be speaking too long about this one tool, but it doesn't, as far as I can see, it doesn't have a competitor, or its competitor is that crazy Excel sheet that you can get that does and doesn't even remotely hold a candle to it. So if you want to know your numbers, and I know a lot of what I just said went in one ear and out the other, because I did it. I did that myself. By the way, even if you're an individual agent, you want to know this is a very, very powerful tool. So cc.co /KB, best place to learn about it right there. All right, Melissa. So maybe this would be a good spot to take questions, and this looks after my first segment.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kevin. Great tips and insights. There were 3 questions in the chat. There may come more as we get chatting here, but let's handle them. What's the easiest and most effective way to ensure my sellers get top dollar when there are multiple offers on my listing?
The easy and most effective way to get top dollar when you, okay. Yeah. Okay. So all right. Here's something that it's crazy to me, why more agents aren't doing this. So let's look at getting top dollar. So first of all, getting top dollar is having as many buyers as possible at the game, submitting offers. Easy. The biggest thing right now in our marketplace that prevents buyers from submitting offers is they haven't had a chance to do a billing inspection. Yet, I see this all the time. It's very rare, I should say, I don't see it. It's extremely rare that I see a home that's offering a pre-building inspection. So here's the thing. Right now, buyers, the poor guys, they finally find a home, and their agent has to tell them, hey man, I don't want to discourage a billing inspection, but if you put in a condition like that, guess what? They're going to go with another 20 offers they want to look at. So so now they're kind of faced with, being homeless versus buying a home without having a building inspection.
Right.
So a pre-building inspection, basically, I set up, by the way, if you're happen to be in our local area or the GTA area, the best service to use is one called HMP Home Inspections, Steve Pocket. If anybody wants his phone number, let me know. Actually, if you go to my website, click on affiliates, you'll get all his details there.
And just as a side note to that, Kevin, I put all your contact information in the chat for anybody who needs it.
Awesome, great. Flaherty.ca. You can get his name, HMP Home Inspection, Steve Puckett. So what I did was I made an arrangement with him. So you might have to make this arrangement, but here's the arrangement I have. By the way, he built homes. He has all the tools. He's wet, so you don't have to go out and get somebody else for wet inspections. He does the air quality samples. He has the thermostat. He has it all, and one-stop shop. So basically, I set up this arrangement with him. Listen, if a seller of mine does a pre-building inspection, and some stuff comes up, by the way, this gives the seller a chance to know, it's not a surprise if something's going to come up in the building inspection. And by the way, that can be devastating.
Absolutely.
So if something's going to come up, because maybe you happen to be in a situation where you don't get all these offers, or you end up accepting an offer conditional on building inspection because it had a lot more money, and then something comes up in it. This gives you, the seller, a chance to correct it, number one. So the deal I have with Steve is he will, no cost, reinspect and update the inspection with that problem corrected.
Awesome.
And now, you're not going to lose potential buyers because because a lot of them will back off and they'll go, you know what, I'm not interested, I'm not comfortable. A lot of them won't, but a lot of them will. And maybe that person that went, I'm not comfortable not having an opportunity to do a building inspection, is the one who would have paid more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Thanks for that. Next question we have. My biggest challenges right now are that buyers keep missing out on homes because of multiple offers. Do you have any advice that would help with that?
Yeah, that's a big challenge in our industry. I'm gonna have to, let me see if I can share my Remarkable for a second. Just give me 1 minute. I'll have to draw this one.
Get out your architect skills.
Yeah. So let me see here. Remarkable. All right, let me try and share that. Yeah, see that?
Yes.
All right. So first of all, the number one thing here is your knowledge has to be intimate with the market that you're in, and that what they're offering on. So everything I'm about to say relies on you having intimate knowledge with respect to the home's value. So if, say, here's the listing and it was say, I don't know, just $1 million, yeah. And the first thing you should do, by the way, the challenge in this scenario is if you recommend a certain offering price, guess what happens if they don't get it? Yeah. You're not going to be their favorite realtor anymore, or they're going to blame you. Yeah. So we need to, how do we recommend without saying what they should do with, hey, I think I should go a little more of that. We want to put that all on them, and that kind of set up a scenario that goes, I told you so, if they don't get it. Make sense?
Yeah.
So what you do, the first critical piece of this information is knowing the market. So you ask yourself this question. This is exactly, we faced this on our team. This literally came up in our office meeting, and this is what we do, and it works fantastic. We say to ourselves first, what do I know within reason is the absolute maximum this house will sell for? Like within reason, there's no way it's going beyond this, but very theoretically possible to sell for that. So we imagine what that is. Let's say, I don't know, it's going to be 1.2. There's no way it's going to sell for more than that. Well, what you do is when they tell you what they want to offer, say they want to offer, $50,000 over asking. And you explain to them, okay, you've got about a 25% chance of getting the home. Oh, okay, well, if we went $100,000 over asking, yeah, that's good. But you still only have about a 50% chance of getting home. And this is how you represent their odds in getting the home, and how it's based in reality, of course, but you're not telling them what to do, and you're telling them the odds. Because I can tell you something else. I call it the lose-lose scenario. If they get the home, they think they pay too much. If they don't get the home, they
think you scared them
more. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was helpful. Good. All right. At the time of registration, we had a question and you kind of touched on it a little bit, Kevin, but I'm just going to come back to it. I have limited resources. What is the best source to generate leads? Name the marketing company that can help with that.
Okay. That's an easy one. Now there's a little bit more to it, but okay. So number one, the company is KV Corp. So it's a CRM platform. It's by far the most powerful number one CRM platform on the planet. And most realtors don't even know about it. Now, first of all, they don't know about it because even if they did hear about it, it's cost prohibitive, and that's not the question. But if you stick around to the end of this lecture, we're going to show you how you can get that absolutely free. And the bottom line is they have people, like you click a button and you say, here's my budget. You're going to get the lowest cost leads pouring into your CRM. And you can break it out, social media, Facebook, that kind of thing.
That's awesome. Thanks, Kevin. This is great. Oh, we just had a question here. How is the CRM program spelled? Can you, is it?
It's called KV Core. So it's Kilo Victor Core, C-O-R-E.
I've just put it in the chat. Oh,
That's it. Yep, that's it.
That it?
Like I said, scary, cost prohibitive, but by far, number one, the most, it's amazing. I'd be talking to you for an hour if I was just breaking down some of the stuff it can do, but it's an HDX site. It's the most powerful CRM in the background. You can build custom landing page. You can do all kinds of stuff in that.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, Kevin, thanks. We'll see you back in a little bit. We're going to ask Rick Lambert now, but thank you so much. All right, Rick, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to rock, I think here, yes. And
okay, well, hang on, I'm going to interrupt you. We've had some people join since the start, so I'm just going to give them a quick intro into who you are. Rick is an award-winning sales performance coach, digital marketing strategist, selected by over 500 plus companies to help their salespeople market and sell to win. Rick, we're excited about your segment on selfie videos and how to unleash our personal brand on video. Rick, before you get started, why don't we just start with a couple of polls? What do you think?
Sure. I just wanted to say that listening, I think her name was Julie, Kevin's narrator lady. What an awesome voice. I just assumed that might have been computer generated, and I wonder if she talks that way at home.
To her children, very soft and slow and kind.
There, please, because we've got a feature plate coming up. Yes. Sorry. How many selfie videos have you posted in the last 30 days? Now, be honest, those of you clicking in here, selfie video would be your mug on the video, and you actually posted it on social media or wherever, right? So,
Rick, what's your guess? What's your guess? We've got none, not enough, and lots. What's your guess?
So I having coached thousands of people on posting videos, I'm going to say we're probably down around although this group may surprise me because we got that one person that claims to have sold over 100 homes.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm going to say between none and not enough. That's my guess anyway.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
We still waiting on people to weigh in here. Come on, everyone. Get those fingers tapping here. Select.
We already know the answer to this one. I don't know
yeah,
how
we do.
long we need.
All right, I'm going to end it. I'm going to share the results here. 80% none, 13% not enough, and 7% lots. So we've got.
Wow. Okay.
All righty.
That's good.
It is good. Here's another one. Hang on. So the reason I don't post more selfie videos is what? You're camera shy. You don't know what to say. You're afraid of failure or ridicule, or you're really not sure it works.
Now, this is a good question that you guys came up with. Camera shy. You know, I think public speaking is number 2 on the human's top 10 feared list, right? I think it's heights, and then you get into spiders and all that.
Yeah.
Don't know what to say. This is a classic one.
Clearly, we're not in that category, eh, Rick?
Yes, and not sure if it works, you know.
Right.
So that's a good one. Let's see what they say here.
All right, so about half we don't have half. People are still weighing in. Hang on, they're coming in fast and
don't overthink it, people. Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna share anyway. We don't have them all, but 49% camera shy, but 51%, Rick, don't know what to say.
Wow. Good.
So 15 and 13, there we go.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I'll turn it over to you, Rick, and looking forward to it.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Melissa. And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rick Lambert, broadcasting from London, Ontario, Canada, with my 2022 real estate edition here, How to Unleash Your Sales Potential. And what I want to do is I want to walk you forward a couple days. Okay. After you do it, I'm going to suggest here, if I've earned the right, but you've already admitted you're not sure what to say, maybe a little camera shy. But if I suggest something and you try this, this is you about 3 days out, maybe today, if you try it later, you're going to look at your phone and go, holy cow, I posted that video, it actually worked. That's our goal together, just so you know. Now, I had a quick peek at the registration, Melissa. Thank you for sharing that yesterday. And here's my scouting report. I've got an awesome team, by the way, that supports me. I want to say thank you if any of you folks are on right now. And here's the scouting report on your group here, Kevin, if you're on. The hairdos, based on the profiles, indicate we got a mixed tenure going. Most are camera shy, and I already predicted that prior to the poll based on having looked at each of your social profiles. Now, what I'm going to do coming up is I'm going to spotlight some of you that registered. So if you're on right now, I'll start showing some videos or some images that you've done, and I assure you it's going to be comedy, horror, and drama. I'm totally teasing you, but now that I've got your attention, stay with me here. And we've got one video superstar on right now. And I just want to say thank you and congrats on what you're doing using video. I won't use your name just yet, but I want to show you this team here. Now, Kevin's based in Orangeville, Ontario, in case you don't know. And we sponsored this little baseball team in Orangeville, and they're the Sell to Win team. That's one of my companies. And I wanted to introduce you to this team because there's a little story behind these guys. We sponsored them, and then when COVID hit, the guy called me up that runs the league, and he said, Rick, do you want to sponsor this, little league team again? And I said, yeah. He said, yeah, but they didn't win a game all season last time you sponsored them. I said, hey, it's not about winning, right? At this level, it's about having fun. Anyway, we took this picture at a tournament, and the little boy holding the baseball bat, he's not even on the team. We only had 8 players show up, and we needed a 9th player. And one of the parents said, hey, my son's never played before, but if you want, you can throw him out there. So we said, okay, he's never played. Sure, throw him out in left field, throw a jersey on him. Anyway, this young boy, he's out there, never played before. So he gets up to bat in the first inning. I think he was 6th batter. And boom, 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 3 pitches come in, the kid strikes out, right? So the kid's a little visibly disappointed. He's walking back. Parents look over at me like, I told you so. 3rd inning, this kid gets back up to bat. Boom, boom, boom. He strikes out again. Now the kid's starting to kick dirt at this point, and parents are looking over to me thinking like, okay, what are you doing to my son? Now later, a couple innings later, this little boy got back up to bat again. The ball comes in over the plate, and doesn't this little guy connect? And he connects to the ball. The ball dribbles out towards the mound. And what does this kid do? He's so excited. His parents leap to their feet, and this kid takes off running right for 3rd base. I kid you not. And the fans were cheering, but we didn't know what to say. And this kid was so happy going to 3rd. And I tell you that story because it's my belief, having coached live over 30,000 sales professionals, that sometimes you and I, we think we're doing the right thing, but maybe we're running to 3rd base. And what I want to do today is I want to share with you a proven path that's easy to do to get you to first base shooting video. That's where we're going today. Now, I wanted to show you this picture too as well. So that's me on the right there with a full rug on top. And that's Kevin. And Kevin Flaherty and I have known each other for a long time, even before this picture here. But I wanted to show you this picture because there's a reason people win in whatever industry they are. And if you looked close behind Kevin when he was talking there, he doesn't talk about his airplane. He doesn't talk about his yacht. He doesn't talk about this stuff. But the guy is successful. And I think if you're successful, you know that winners join winners in any industry. And, I have a background in sports, and they want to play on a winning team. And I just want to say congratulations to what Kevin's doing again today to do something a little different. And, I think congratulations to you, by the way, for showing up today. Look, you could have done something else. Maybe we're shoveling snow for those of you in Calgary or wherever you are. But thanks for joining us. I'll try and make the best use of your time. So anyway, you're sitting there right now, maybe nudging the guy or lady next to you going, okay, who is this guy? I never heard of this guy, Rick Lambert. Maybe you're saying, okay, but he's not in real estate. This guy doesn't come from real estate. Does he understand our world? Or maybe you're sitting there saying, hey, that baseball story kind of sounds like me. Or maybe you're my hard to please attendee today that thinks they got it all figured out, and you're saying this better be worth it. So I will try to address all of these things today for you. So quickly, time flies. I showed you a picture earlier of me with some hair. Grew up in Caledon, played hockey in Toronto, wanted to go to the NHL. Was drafted by the Oilers. Obviously, that didn't work out. I'm on this webinar today. But my career has spanned basically in business-to-business sales. I do have my level 1 at the time in real estate. I went off, joined Xerox, wanted to learn some sales fundamentals and good skills there. And I opened a training company, sales training company about 20 years ago called Sell to Win, because I thought there was a need for practical, tactical training with a little fun mixed in. So we do something we call corporate entertainment at Sell to Win. Not in a gimmicky sense, but we like to have fun. You'll notice today, we've been able to produce this program. Melissa's one of our teammates. And so we think the adult learning experience needs to be a little different than it was years ago. And then this thing came along about 12 years ago. I don't know if you've got it where you are. It's called the internet. And when the internet came along, all of a sudden, the way we sell, whether you're in real estate or whatever else, you've got to realize, okay, there's another player at the table we need to deal with here, and how do we maximize it? And listening to Kevin talk here, you can clearly see he's leveraging technology to scale himself, his team, his offerings, because right now we believe it's all about being top of mind at point of need, top of mind at point of need. So when someone's in that window, they think they're going to buy or sell. Are you at the line of scrimmage? So these are quickly my two companies. So as I sit here today, 20 plus years I've been doing sales coaching. I'll show you some verticals we've worked in, have done some stuff in real estate. And then I also have a digital marketing agency. So I understand, I think, very well what's happening right now in terms of how sales and marketing are coming together. And for those of you that are looking for a difference or definition, what they are, here's what it is, okay? Marketing is letting people know what you got. Sales is getting rid of what you got. That's the best definition I've heard. Anyway, here's a list of our clients on the right side there. You'll see a lot of them are corporate players. About 70 to 80% of our work's US based. But like you, they face resistance. They've got budget pressure. They've, COVID's affected the way they sell. Now all of a sudden they got to sell through a screen more than they ever have before. And, I'm also a home buyer and seller, and just sold a property within 6 months ago. So I think I'm fresh on the trail of what is happening in terms of attracting a buyer, seller, and having gone through a recent transaction. Anyway, I won't spend a lot of time here, but thanks to the great and awesome team I have, we've been able to win a lot of global awards, both on the sales and marketing side. And if you've got time on your hands, or you're sick of Netflix, maybe you want to tune in and watch me on my podcast called This Marketing Show. So Kevin, sorry, there's a shameless plug for me. Anyway, here's where we're going to go today, okay? I'm going to talk about why video in 2022 for you, the real estate professional, okay? You already admitted you're camera shy and or not what to say and whatever else you had to say there. I want to just reframe where you're at right now and talk to you about what you can do that I absolutely assure you will work. And in speaking with Kevin before this program, what he said to me is, I said, why don't more real estate people appear on video, like raw video on social media that you would post and or on YouTube? And his comment to me, like some other realtors I spoke to before, they said it's just apprehension. It's not a normal swing of the bat. It's a different mix. And some of you watching today, based on your tenure in the industry, I'm going to assume that you're older, you may think that this is a young person's thing to go on video. And some of us that have been around a while, and we think, hey, people buy because of relationships. I would just wave a little bit of a caution flag, saying that what's happening right now is people are forming what we call digital relationships, and or they're fracturing traditional relationships by being in front of the customer to be considered, and then showing technology, some of the stuff Kevin showed you there, to get sell the home faster, quicker, for a higher dollar. Anyway, I'll talk about why video. Then I'll talk about how to shoot a selfie video. I'll talk technical, very easy things to do, and then what to say, which was our number one thing, having run this program for well over a year, how to shoot videos. And then I'll just give you a quick action plan before we leave. Okay, so why video? I mean, the answer is pretty obvious, but what we see from all the analytics in our agency, and we touch about, I'm going to say we either manage, we provide, we manage all social media content, blogging, video, marketing strategy, paid, you name it, for probably about 150 companies we touch in one way or another. We manage everything. New York City, London, wherever you want to be. North America. And consistently, the watering hole where we see the traffic go is video. It's by far, I don't think to show you many stats, you already know that. The video is the attraction right now. And I think you can supercharge, I talk about your personal brand, by stepping it up a little bit on video. Now, in case you don't know, sorry, I'm just, hitting some basics here, but YouTube, as you know, is the #2 search engine next to Google, okay? And the one thing that I think is a mistake a lot of agents make is they do a lot of transactional content, meaning I shoot a video, I put it on Facebook, I put it on Instagram, wherever you put it, and it dies, right? The average lifespan of a post on social media is about 24 hours, just as a point. So we're coaching our clients to post 3 to 5 times a week. Now, not all video, but just to be up top of mind, point of need. That said, the more video you can put on YouTube, that's an evergreen piece of content that never goes away. So I would just caution you to think about YouTube maybe in your mix as you go forward. It's a little advanced what we're talking about today, but just an FYI. Now, when COVID hit, we all remember that day, right? It was roughly March 15th, right? 2020, and this thing came out and we had to all of a sudden throw with our left hand if we're a righty, right? We had to figure out a different way to do business. And in the fall, as you can see here, 2020, we were engaged by the University of Western Ivy Business School. Now, depending on where you're from, I think Ivy has a pretty good reputation in terms of the MBA program. And they brought us in to coach all of their MBA students on how to basically create a personal brand for themselves, particularly on LinkedIn, because that's the business platform. And what I want to share with you today are some of the things that we worked with MBAs on. And, these are the green berets in terms of business. And some of them actually came from or still in real estate. And the feedback was very, very good. And we continue to do some work with those people. So why video? I'm still on that there. I just want to pound that down because a lot of you considered video, but you just haven't done it. And I just want to validate why others are doing it and how they're having success. So the nice thing about video too is you shoot one video, you can put on any platform, right? Any platform. So it's not just, I'm on LinkedIn primarily. That's where you'll find me. That's where I live because I'm a business to business model. You're more of a B2C, business to consumer model, but the videos go anywhere. Now here's another little stat, read with me down below, right? People retain 40% more information from watching a video than they do reading text. And you and I already know that. If you're presented with 2 web pages or a web page, there's a video and some content there, where are you going, right? Chances are you, like most of us, are clicking on the video. Now here's the spend shift. So as an agency, what we do is we work with companies and we say, okay, what is your budget in terms of spending money? And where we'll spend it will be the biggest return for you. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, for some of you traditionalists out there, that you shouldn't do anything on the left side. I'm not suggesting that because actually we've had some real resurgence in terms of direct mail because everything's gone digital. But I'm generally saying that if you're doing the things on the left here, they tend to be pretty hard to measure. And the scale of them sometimes is not what you can see on the right side. And so as an agency, we're doing all these things on the right. And in a second, I'm going to show you some examples of what realtors are doing, not just in terms of posting video, but many are starting up their own podcast. And this is a new emerging trend that we're providing as a service for customers. We're saying, hey, rather than do it in text, let's take it to video, showcase your people, your messages, etc. I'm going to just teach you how to do a micro version of that today. So my main point here is if you've been doing real estate for a while and you're not seeing this shift, I think there may be some people in your marketplace that are. And if nothing else, I think you need to benchmark what you're doing versus what digital may do. Now, Inc. magazine came out with something recently, and basically I'll net it down. They said, okay, what's the biggest fear that holds people back? And we didn't have it on the poll there, but I brushed you with this, and I think it was number 2, the biggest fear people have, top 10 fears, and that is fear of public speaking. Okay, now my slide says change, but at some point, we need to keep reinventing ourselves as sales professionals. And I don't know about you, but I learned very early that sales is both the highest and the lowest paying profession on the planet, by the way. I learned the hard way. But I hope today I at least give you a little nudge to change. And just think about it. Now, they did a poll. I'm sorry, I don't have the source on here, but it's a 2021 poll in the fall, and it was a CRM company, and they ask people, okay, what do you think the weight of video, like the importance is in the sales process? And some of you may be thinking, you know, video right now just on social media. I know a lot of you do home tours, etc. But there's a lot of different ways people are finding to use video right now, even in one-to-one video. So for example, let's say you're in a transaction with a customer, maybe you did a listing presentation, there was a question that came up and you want to get back to them. There's a couple different ways you can get back. The typical realtor, I would argue, gets back over text. The other realtor, we'll call it, is going to shoot a selfie video explaining what the answer is. And in some cases, if there's documentation on video explaining what they're talking and showing. And, you know, it doesn't take much to figure out, you know, the impact of video when you can see and hear somebody versus just text. Just a thought for you as we head forward. Now, Melissa, oh, I don't know how this poll got on here. Melissa, are you, should this poll even be in here? I don't know, I'm sorry. Just keep
What's that?
Teasing.
You're razzing.
So I did some research, okay, and I was looking at what realtors are doing. Now, look at I think these people are doing a great job, by the way. And I'll start left to right because I just want to give you some examples in your own world. On the left side, these people have started a podcast, and you know, my podcast, The Marketing Show, we're well over 100 episodes. And I can tell you, coming out cold, right? It's only your family listening. Okay, so get ready for that. But as you go, what you're going to find is that these podcasts, which are basically a video and audio option, ideally placed on YouTube and other podcasts, right, platforms, what you're going to find is these are digital bricks that are going to form your brand, your personal brand. And it's a little bit of a long game. But we're seeing more and more industries, including real estate, step into podcasting, which is a form of video. In the middle there, this lady here did it was a video, different pictures of the home. But what I really liked here is she's got some personal branding going. And you can see that anything she's showing has her face on it. And I'll talk about that a little later, why that's important in videos. But if you follow Kevin on social media, in particular LinkedIn, you'll notice he too has a particular brand, his face associated with the content that's in there. Very, very important in personal branding. Now on the right side, here's a guy out of Toronto. And I really like what this guy's doing. He's very active on video and he provides market updates. And he does something I'm going to suggest you do today. It's called a frequently asked, or FAQ, question video, where he answers questions that his buyer might be asking in micro videos. And that's one of the techniques I think you're really going to get a lot of bang out of. Now, here's a couple local realtors out of our London marketplace that I thought really do a good job too. Now, this is a little hopped up video, meaning they've had a little bit of production here. And by the way, everything I suggest you do today in terms of the core message of my presentation, you can do for free. All you need is a smartphone with a video. But as you evolve your digital DNA or your video presence, you might want to think about podcasting down the road. And what I thought was really interesting, and you don't need a video crew to do this, is here's a sample video where they're just explaining what the neighborhood's like. And so, you know, I mentioned to you, I grew up in Caledon, Orangeville area there. And, you know, depending on where you're located, it's about 45 minutes from Toronto, but a lot of the Toronto market may be moving north, for example. In this case, they may wonder, what is that neighborhood like? Schools, hospitals, etc. And so these are types of topics that get a lot of attention on social media, and we'll talk about that mix coming up. So I put this slide in here now because a lot of you, I think, have really good tenure, a lot of tenure, and really good relationships. Okay, I'm 55. I know I look a lot younger, but a lot of you, when we sold for a while, we have good relationships. And I would only just respectfully warn you that today we're finding in this digital world, it's not always who you know, but it's who knows you. And by getting more visible through video or other means, I think what's going to happen is you're going to increase not only your awareness that, hey, you are a realtor, but you're going to boost what we call your consideration rates, which means, hey, we're thinking of listing. Let's interview that guy or that lady. I saw him or her. And, you know, if you're saying, hey, Rick, I'm already doing these things, I'm doing posts, I'm doing this stuff, I would just ask, based on the poll question earlier, how many are videos with you in it? And if you agree that's a hopped up, meaning higher value post, That's why we're here today. Now, here's your customer, okay? And I can tell you, I sat in this chair. I just sold a property in London about 6 months ago, 7 months ago. And as I look on the computer, I'm looking at the digital DNA of the real estate agents that I'm looking at, because I play hockey with some, some others have bumped into me digitally through business, et cetera. But this is what I think your customer is doing, is they're looking at you. And if you don't have video content versus someone that does, think about how much more you can feel for a person, understand the tone, how they look, how they act. But they're asking themselves, should we list with you? Can we trust you? I mean, all stats indicate that video done the right way, which I'm going to suggest, elevates the level of trust, okay, in the buyer's mindset, whether you're selling real estate or whatever. And lastly, should they refer you? If someone was to refer you, think about this. Referral A is you send the realtor's name to somebody, another couple, and say, hey, I think you should list with this gentleman or this lady. Or B, hey, here's a couple of videos from the agent that I'm suggesting. Think about how that person would have a better understanding of who you are, et cetera, coming into that first meeting there. So here's the way I would see the sales funnel if I was in real estate. It's the same in business, okay? It's very basic, and I did it for this reason. If you think about it, Kevin talked earlier a lot about leads, and he talked about using technology to place yourself in positions or intersections where the customers may see you or your offering. So let me just walk through this. So the high level of the funnel's awareness, okay? Do they even know you're a real estate agent? And you may say, yeah, Rick, they do. I would just say, what if more people knew you're a real estate agent? I mean, in today's marketplace, I just saw in the news today, like there's record low inventory for you folks right now. And so I don't think you can have enough awareness ever, if not today, more than ever. Number two would be consideration rates. In consideration, they're saying, hey, let's maybe talk to that realtor about listing or selling our home, right? Awareness, we know you do it, consideration. Then actual leads. So a lead would be, hey, come on in and do a listing presentation. And then win rate would be, okay, you did the listing presentation versus 3 to 5 others that we looked at. And based on your selling skills, your unique selling proposition, as Kevin talked about, now this is going to determine your win rate, which actually gets the listing. So we work with companies basically each rung. But what I want to do today is I want to talk to you about how you can use video up top in the funnel. So everybody coming in today say, hey, how do I get more leads? I'm saying the long game. Today's elite professional is thinking, how do I get a great big digital swath to cover more people, so more people know I'm in the marketplace, and I get considered more to do more listing presentations, more leads, et cetera. So that's where I'm focused on in the funnel here. Now, you may say, as your poll said, now, Melissa, is this an actual picture of a participant, by the way? I don't know if this is an actual picture here.
It sure is. It sure is. Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. So this is the number one question we get. In November, I was in Rochester. A company, actually Xerox Corporation, brought in their top 50 resellers in the country, and we spent time doing video coaching with their people. With the exception of one person, no one had cut a video before. 2 hours later, everybody had 3 minimum videos ready to rock. And but the biggest question is, what do I post? Because a lot of you have spent a lot of time on your brand, right? So you've got, maybe you've got artwork, you've got this reputation, you've got, I respect that. And the risk that you're probably thinking is, hey, I don't want to do something on video that damages, all the momentum I built so far. And so I just wanted you to know I have that in mind in that question. The one thing I would caution you on, though, is this you in the bottle? Because when people say, what do I post? Sometimes they're sitting inside, they can't see the label inside the bottle because they're in real estate and they don't maybe think like their customer. So for me, as a non-real estate person, I would have a lot of different questions that would be very basic to you, or better yet, I'm sure you're asked the same questions over and over again, that you have knowledge of that your customer doesn't, that we could use to create awareness, consideration, et cetera. Now, when I speak to corporate audiences, this is the top 10 list of videos that we see people looking at on social media, okay? And by the way, I'm focused on social media today, although I think video sits in many spots, right? On websites, all over the place. But I just thought I'd brush you with this because people, again, say, what do I post? So number one, be company news and updates. We maybe have a broker owner on the call today, maybe a team leader, but maybe you want to do like a company news might be you came out with some new program, or you formed a new partnership with a mortgage company. Kevin spoke about having a partnership with someone that does the home assessments. Number two, be culture and recruiting. We just built for a company in New York. Literally, they walked through the smartphone. We put a bed of music to it, so it was a facility tour of their environment, so that the remote applicant could have a view inside the environment. And this is what, by the way, today's millennial / Gen Z person is looking for. They want to see inside, especially in today's virtual world, where they're going. How about how it works? Explainer videos. It could be as simple as, you know, how the sign is mounted on your front lawn. Like, it's basic things. And when you, you know, I have to tell you, and it wasn't part of my thing here, but you know, in the summertime, my son, who does the weed whacking, he broke the wire on it, and he said, how do I do it? I said, let's YouTube it. And so we Googled, okay, on YouTube, sorry, we searched how to replace the wire on the weed whacker. And there was a guy with half of his tummy hanging out, and he had 176,000 views. And so I'm saying the basic things, okay, are very appealing to your target audience, like I was that day. Behind the scenes. What I mean behind the scenes? Maybe you want to show behind the scenes how someone stages a home. Behind the scenes. This is the stuff people want to see. FAQ videos, frequently asked questions, answering them on video. That's where I'm going to take you today. Interviews with internal or external people. Maybe you've got a mortgage partner that you want to interview on what's happening with rates. What's the projection? What should someone think about? So it's like a 2-person type selfie. These, again, just ideas if you're thinking, what do I post? Community involvement. Look, I know Kevin's involved in the community. I'm sure you are where you work. And a lot of times I don't think you folks get the credit that you deserve for your engagement in the community. And so why not shoot a video, you know, hi, I'm here at the such and such a hockey rink, and we're so proud to sponsor this, you know, team, etc. But these are the types of short videos, again, that will strengthen your personal brand to say, hey, you know what, not just are they a great realtor, but they're a great person, community, and you can see hopefully how I'm shaping this. Customer success stories, like, why not tell a story about how someone went in on multiple bids, what your strategy was, without, you know, deferring any confidential information, but, you know, how a customer is able to sell their home for the most, or etc. Now, the one-to-one video, number 10, is the most missed video of all. And earlier I mentioned to you, let's say you're in a transaction with a customer. Again, you're trying to earn the listing. I can pretty much guarantee you that very few realtors right now are sending a one-to-one video to them, just thanking them for the opportunity to do the listing presentation and or answering any questions, like I said before. So let's just shoot video. Hi, Jim and Mary, it was so great to meet you in your living room today. You know, so this type of one-to-one video, very underutilized, very powerful at that point of decision making. But again, the whole goal is to be top of mind at point of need. Now, let's talk about how to shoot the video, okay? We talked about why video. We framed in kind of some ideas on video. Let's talk now about how to shoot a selfie video. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a clip. So we do a lot of on-demand learning and stuff for corporate audiences. And I'm going to show you a clip here. It's about a 2-minute video. And it walks you through technically how to shoot one. Technical, and then we'll go to what to say. Okay, so let me just play this. Let me just start this video now.
All right, you and I know you've been thinking about doing a selfie video, but maybe you just haven't done it yet. Or maybe you've done one, you want to make sure you're doing it the right way. In this pro tip video, I'll talk about 5 simple things you can do to make a great selfie video, okay? Number 1, be careful of the level of the camera as it's positioned versus your face. In other words, I'm level right now, which is good. You could go higher, which is also acceptable. What you don't want to do is have the camera down low. You see what I mean? Not a good look, okay? Number 1, keep the camera level or higher than your head. Number 2, classic mistake, stay away from bright lights behind you. It's going to shadow your face like crazy and you won't look good. So keep the lights out in front of you. Notice how much better or well lit my face is. Here's another thing, watch out for backgrounds, okay? So sometimes the backgrounds, people like motion sometimes and all those good things. Don't be getting dizzy on me here, but notice how on my desk here, if it looks like a disaster going on behind you, no, I set that up by the way, it's gonna speak louder than whatever it is you're saying in your video. Now here's another pro tip that people often miss. Right now I'm looking at the screen in this video, but watch this. Now I'm looking at the lens. See how I'm looking at you? Now I'm back looking at the screen, not looking at you. Looking at the lens, looking directly at you. So look at the lens, don't look at the screen. My last little tip is keep the camera horizontal when you shoot. don't shoot vertical like this. It won't fill the full area on social media, most of the platforms, LinkedIn anyway. Shoot sideways and you'll look like a pro. Hey, you've been waiting to do a selfie? Why not do one today? You know how to do it now.
There you go. You can do it. So people ask at this point, hey, are you going to send us a summary after? The quick answer is no. I'm kidding. Talk to Kevin. He'll figure out something. I'll maybe send a follow-up. Just request it through Kevin if you would. But a couple of things there that we talked about, okay? The biggest mistake that we see, again, is when you've got your phone, you're looking into where you're talking. And again, I can't emphasize enough, and you saw the difference there, looking right into the lens. And the other suggestion I might have is, I got a selfie stick right here. And for the small investment it makes a huge difference in terms of giving perspective when you shoot. So if you haven't got one of those, or you want to give a realtor a gift of the day, I can assure you that would be a great one. So here's another thing to think about, okay, as we get into how to shoot a video. So we talk technical, stay away from lights, sideways, right? Level with your head. Here's we have a video team at Into Communications, our agency, and they're awesome. Probably produced, I'm going to say, over 15,000 videos, okay, 18 years experience, etc. And the one thing we track is drop-off points. And I wanted to say that, like, what we see is the drop-off on a business video, which I would call what you would do, not entertainment, meaning we're watching a rock band or we're watching this, trailer or whatever, but on social media, we're seeing about 35 seconds is where all of a sudden it starts to trail off. So if you're on there talking for 2 minutes, you may be the only one watching your video. So I have a saying, right? Keep it short, stupid. So think with that in mind. But realistically, you want to keep your video probably less than a minute, would be kind of a general rule of thumb, if you would. Now, I spoke to about 400 greenskeepers at golf courses across Canada last fall, sorry, about doing video. And because you're not the only ones that are thinking, hey, how do I get on video? And I created this kind of scale for them. And I said, okay, look, when you're going on social media, here's kind of the impact of your post as it relates to your personal brand, okay? And so a picture in your world of a house would be good. A picture of your face in the post is better, okay? Personal branding. And then a narrated video. So here's another underrated video. A lot of you say, hey, I'm not dressed for video. My hair's not good. You got a reason, okay? And one of the things we coach people to do is called a narration video. So you are behind the camera narrating, you know where I'm going here, but you're shooting the video, but they can still hear your voice, your tone, your inflection, right? And then, of course, the ultimate is you on video. Now, I'm going to show you samples I created for this program for real estate agents, just to kind of give you a picture, because I'm a visual dude. I got to see it, kind of understand where we're going. But this is a scale that we use with business people. Now, I pulled this slide out of my LinkedIn bootcamp. I train a lot of salespeople on using LinkedIn primarily because it's a business-to-business platform, although the principles apply wherever, right? So the question is, what type of content, never mind do you prefer, like I've got here, but what kind of content do you think your customer, your target customer persona, we speak in marketing, is, okay? The guy or lady that's looking to buy or sell a home. Now, there's two types, right? There's promotional. Hi, I'm Rick Lambert. I'm the #1 real estate agent here in Orangeville. And the reason you want to, it's a tell message, okay? If you, like I, fast forward through commercials on recorded programs, ask yourself why you do it, because you don't want the promotions. And the same thing is happening on social media. On the flip side, and this is easier to say than do, it's educational content. And educational is, as I've got here, it's more like insider knowledge that your target audience would want to know. Now, this seems easy on a slide, but it's very difficult to do. And that's why we've created our FAQ video formula to solve this for you, because the more you can educate somebody, it elevates you in their eyes as the expert, right, in real estate in your marketplace. And you're not, the chump that's always saying why they're the best, et cetera, type of thing. We think people repel from that, by the way. So here, let me get you something here. I'll show you. So the reason we use FAQ videos, frequently asked questions, are for these 3 reasons on the slide. Now read these. I'm going to pause for a second. Just read why we use these. Okay, now those are facts. Now, if you can, guys, come off email or wherever I've lost you to here for a second. I'm going to ask you to put something in the chat. If you would, in the chat, just chip in questions maybe that you've been asked in the last 2 weeks by a customer. And if you want, I'll show you immediately how to turn that into an FAQ video, because that's where I'm going through, guys. So Melissa, I don't know if there's any in the chat there. It seems like a very active audience. And based on the fact that most people have sold 5 homes or less, I know they're ready to go on video.
Absolutely. Okay, one of the questions right here is, what's going on in the market with video?
What's going on in the market with video?
Yeah, they're saying that could be something that someone could do, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Right? What's going on in the market? Update people on.
Good question. Yeah.
Sorry, what else is there here? Just a sec. They're popping in like crazy. Will there be more inventory in the spring than now?
Great questions. Great questions. Yeah.
What will the prices of the properties drop?
Okay.
Is it a good time to buy still?
If they are listing or buying through you, it's a good time.
Absolutely.
Sorry, yes.
When are prices going to come down? I get that.
Okay.
This guy says he gets asked that all the time. Sorry, go ahead, Rick.
Well, okay, keep going. Sorry, Melissa. Yeah, you had some.
Yeah, they're popping in. This is great. How will interest rates affect the market?
Okay.
And when is the market going to crash? Which is a good one, given it's so hot.
Okay. So, there's this thing called Google, and our web marketing team see analytics on what's being searched on. And Kevin mentioned some things called, artificial intelligence, AI, and all these things that basically consolidate a bunch of data. And you don't necessarily need those to do what I'm saying. If you're a team leader, you're an independent agent, you're a broker owner. What we're doing with business teams and or individuals is we're saying, hey, look, just write down, as you've came up with there, the top 10 FAQs you were asked in the last 2 weeks. Okay. And there's ones over and over. And then I'm going to show you now how to convert those into what we call a frequently asked question video. So Melissa, for example, one of the questions was, what's going on in the market with video? Okay, that I don't know if that would be, with all due respect, a question that your customer may ask, but the person may ask, what's going on in the marketplace with video when selling your home? Okay, that might be a question someone would ask. So you might answer something like this. Hi, my name is Rick Lambert with Acme Real Estate. A lot of my clients have been asking me, what's happening with video in terms of listing or selling a home? And what I want to share with you quickly is how people are using video effectively. State a couple of examples and then wrap it up and say, hey, I hope that helps you as you consider buying or selling your next home. So question, answer, and I'll show you the template here. So thank you for your questions, by the way, and staying active with me. Here's some I thought, okay? And this is coming from a non-real estate person. Why do I need a real estate agent versus selling private? They can be very, very basic questions, okay? Remember, how to change the cord on a weed whacker, 176,000 views. Okay, remember, basic. Number 2, why is there such low supply of homes in the market? Well, number 3, how do I get priority access to new listings? Kevin had a great idea earlier there. Number 4, how should I stage my home for sale? These are questions I think I asked when I sold property. How much does fencing cost? You may say, Rick, what's fencing got to do? Well, if you're selling a property or you're thinking of buying a property, sorry, you're your customer, and it has a backyard with no fencing, does the normal person know what fencing costs? You may say, hey, they do. That's okay. This is one of many videos you're coming out with, right? What's the best month to list my home for sale? Number 7, what should I look for in a real estate agent? Now, here's one you got to watch. You can't get sucked down in you, okay? The less you talk about you, the better. You might say something like this. Hey, a lot of my clients have been asking recently, what should someone look for in a real estate agent to list their home? And so in answering that, what we find based on the surveys from customers that have sold a home is they're looking for these types of qualities. And of course, you want to maybe tilt them a little bit to your favor, but it's never about you, it's about them. And the more the videos are about them than you, I think you'll be better off. What can a seller do to make a great first impression to drive by buyers? Look, these are just some I came up with, but there's 8 right there that you could use coming out of the blocks. Now, how do you do it? Okay, let me show you the template. Now, turn off your screen cap because this is a big secret, okay? Do not screen cap this, okay? Do not put your coffee down screen cap. Okay, wait, here's how it goes, okay? This is the template. Follow me here, okay? Hi, my name is Rick, and I'm proud to be a member of whatever your real estate company is, okay? State it. Recently, a lot of my clients have been asking me, put in your FAQ question right there. And that's a great question. The answer is, answer the question. Don't go on and on like we talked about. And then end it with, thanks for, very humble. The less you sell today in 2022, the more you're going to sell. The less you sell, the more you're going to sell, especially on social media. End it with, thanks for watching. I hope this helps you buying or selling your home in the future. That's the template. So if you're wondering why you spent this time with me so far, we've done a couple things. Number one, we said, hey, video is absolutely has to be part of the mix immediately, okay, if not at some point in the future, with all due respect. Secondly, you told me you're not sure what to say, okay? I've given you here a very simple template that I think you can use. And what I thought I'd do is I'd show you an example in your world that I prepared only because you're attending, okay? This is a personal branding social media post example. So remember before I showed you the golf green group that I talked to? Here's your world, okay? Let's say I'm a real estate agent, and post number one, lowest strength, is a picture of the home. Post number two has my picture in it. The more you can put your picture in things, the bigger, the better the strength, the more engagement you're going to get. Those of you that are marketeers out there, you know, when someone looks at a newspaper, magazine, whatever, the first thing a human looks at is another human's face every time, okay? And I know you've got a face for social media, okay? Now, the third one is the narration video, and then the last. So let me show you this actual example here in your world. So here's a picture of the home, right? You could show up. You got text on top, so proud to list this home, etc. See the difference? Right away.
Hi, I'm Rick Lambert with Sell to Win Realty, and a lot of my clients lately have been asking, Rick, should I be looking at buying a brand new home, like a ground up, brand new build, or should I buy a house that already exists and renovate? In this video, I want to share with you 3 quick reasons why a lot of people right now are looking at brand new homes. First of all, when you build a brand new home, you get exactly what you want. The layout, the colors, the functionality, everything you want. Reason number 2, a lot of people looking at brand new homes is this. Reason number 2. And reason number 3 is this right here. And so those are just reasons why you might want to consider a new home. I'm not suggesting what's best for you, but hopefully that'll help you as you look to buy or sell a home in the future. Hi, I'm Rick Lambert with Sell to Win Real.
And this keeps going on and on and on. I'm just kidding. But hopefully I gave you a picture there, right? Hi, my name's Rick. State your company, okay? A lot of times I get asked this question, position the question, answer the question. It's a great question. Hopefully this helps you buying or selling a home. If you do this, okay, you could be retired very, very quickly. Remember I started my program with this? This actually worked. This is what's going to happen if you do this. But you know, you may not do it because you're you. You're you. You do it your way, right? You do it your way. You got your way of doing it. You know things have changed, but you're you. So I'm giving you a shove here. I'm saying, hey, shooting video is kind of like going to a pool party, okay? And if you've been to a pool party, maybe like me, what do? You bring your bathing suit, it's in the car, you're not sure if you're going in, right? But you get there, and after a few Canadian lubricators, things get a little light, and all of a sudden, boop, there go, one guy's in the pool, boop, she's in the pool. And before you know it, you're in the pool too, and it feels pretty good, doesn't it? Okay? That's what video is going to be like, okay? Sometimes you got to jump in. And this path I'm giving you today is very, very safe. Okay, here's my key takeaways, all right? On the left side there, video content, undisputed #1. That's the biggest, okay, attraction we're seeing from all analytics. Number 2, short videos. Remember, keep it short, stupid, inside a minute ideally. Educational, not promotional. Stay away from that stuff. People run away. Action items, okay? Who be it for me to give you an action item, but that's what I do, okay? I'm going to suggest you follow other content creators. Okay. You're going to know people already that are doing a good job. I showed some today that I thought are doing a great job. But that'll give you kind of some guardrails. I like what she does. I don't like the way he does that, but I like the way he does this. The second thing I'm going to suggest is write down those 10 FAQs. Just pick 3 to get started. Maybe you want to do 3 a week. May sound aggressive. Run at your pace. Remember, life of a post, 24 hours. And number 3, shoot 3 videos this week. You can do it. You got the questions. You got the template. On the right there, if there's a call to action, if you want, you can join me each week on YouTube on this marketing show. I talk about sales and marketing stuff, or you can track me down on LinkedIn. That's where I live. So here's my challenge to you is basically, we are here, shoot these 3 videos, and I think you'd be well on your way to taking your personal brand to a whole new level. And I guarantee, okay, if there's a realtor in your market, they do not want you to do what I'm talking about right here. So anyway, that's the end of my presentation there, Kevin. I just wanted to say thank you. And I hope that people respect what you're doing, something different. You're a humble guy. And as I said, I can't say it enough, like winners join winners, and congrats on what you're doing. Thanks for having me today.
Hey, Rick, if you could just hang out for just 1 second, I'm going to give a quick little story about some of the power. First of all, can you imagine what it's like hanging around with Rick Lambert if you're not doing personal videos? Like, I've been doing videos of homes and it didn't have me in it for, a decade, and they're all over the place. But hang out with this guy if you're not putting yourself in the videos and posting. So just a quick story. We're on a beach and, Rick's got his camera. I'm like, Rick, I'm not doing it on this beach, right? And last summer, I'm not doing it. He's like, no, you could do it right here. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it right here. Anyways, he shoots one for himself, short tip of himself. And I'm like, yep, that's great. That's never going to happen on a beach, pal. Sorry. And listen, this is a true story. A guy on the beach, on a boat actually, and he swam to the beach and then came up to Rick and goes, hey, I know you. I just saw the video you just, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, talk about the power of video. Like, that was a kind of an aha moment for me there. But that was a good one. Hey, wow. Since I hang out with Rick, you know what? I start posting a lot of videos. I got one for you to rank. I banged it up on LinkedIn while you were talking there, Rick. I'm just going to show it for a second.
I think there was an uptick in Amazon sales buying selfie sticks too, Rick. They're all sold out now. I can't find them anywhere.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to your audience, Kevin, because, a lot of people, we're stronger together, right, than on our own. And I try to provide you guys with a safe path to move. And, Kevin's a classic, I think, a very successful real estate agent. As I said, you look over his shoulder there, you see that's his actual plane he's got a model of. And so there's an old saying that success leaves clues. And so when you hear Jay coming up, here's another guy that, Kevin called him a rock star. That's even an understatement in this industry. But sometimes we got to try different things to achieve different levels. And anyway, Kev, sorry, I'm trying to buy you some time there to load your.
I was waiting for you. Here, check this out.
Hey, Kevin Flaherty here. You ever done an online event before? This is my very first one. It's about to start in 30 seconds or so. Into Communications helped me put this on. They're absolutely fantastic. That's in, and then the number 2, communications.com. They do all the heavy lifting for you. They set everything up. They host the event. They advertise it. You show up with your content and any speakers you're going to invite. They make it easy. Just wanted to say thanks to Into Communications for doing this for me, and looking really forward to it. Hope you guys attended. I guess past tense, because by the time you see this, it'll be over.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin. We have a great team at Into. Melissa's one of the people, and if you're on the team, you're on the call today, thank you for everything you do to help our customers win. So anyway, thanks, Kev. I'm going to jump because I know you got your rock star coming up. Thanks, everybody.
You know what I wanted to say, Rick, though, we've had a lot of comments in the chat with people saying, hey, you know what? We totally agree, and we're going to get out there and do more videos. So that's great news. Great.
Good. Awesome. That's our message delivered. Cool.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you. Hey, Kevin, you're back.
Melissa, I'm back.
You're back. All right. Awesome. You know, some people have joined since we chatted, but before you go, I want to let people know that you're the host of Honey Badgers Metaverse, which is an experienced and advanced global group of realtors that share cutting edge tools, strategies, and best practices to help agents, teams, and brokerages grow their business, which is free to join with some conditions. But Kevin, we're excited about the future of real estate. I'll turn it over to you in a minute to explain about the metaverse. But before we do, let's just do another quick poll and see what we got going on here. All right. I plan on being in real estate for 1 to 5 years, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, or 16 to 20 plus years.
Not how long have you been?
Right. How long do you plan?
Being from this point on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Kevin, what's your guess here? What's your guess?
We're an agent demographic, so therefore I'd probably have to put more of it on options 1 and 2.
Actually, not everyone has participated, but I'm just, in the interest of time, going to share here. 16 to 20 plus years. That's amazing. 35%. I know, that's fantastic.
Wow. Well, you know what that might be because realtors generally don't have an off ramp. Do you know what they call a realtor retirement party?
No.
Called a funeral. They didn't plan the off ramp. We're going to be talking to you a little bit about that as well.
Awesome.
Right. So you guys want to see some technology, something we might share in our group?
I'll turn it over to you.
All righty. So let me share my screen here. So if you weren't, if you're in the 1 to 5, you're going to catch the tail end of being slaughtered by what we're about to share. If you were anywhere else on that survey, you better pay really close attention, because the second you don't believe what I tell you regarding this, you're going to be wiped off the map as a realtor. So it's kind of a big deal. You guys are going to think that's a little extreme, but I can assure you, no matter how this comes across, it's going to be more than that. So let's start off by talking about our future of VR and AR environments and what that's kind of looking like. First of all, let's look at the current state of online marketing. So 33 years ago, when I listed a home, I took a picture. It was black and white. I had to pull it out of a Polaroid camera on the side, slap a sign on the lawn, a lockbox on the door, and post it on MLS. It is remarkable that we've gotten this far without adopting some technologies. And I think we can agree, based on my first segment, that we need to look more at improving our services to attract clients, as opposed to just always focusing on lead. Do that, and you will grow beyond your wildest dreams. Variations and combinations of this slideshow with pictures and annoying music, video clips with annoying music, brief intros to homes followed by any of the above, is basically what's common right now. And the most common is still just pictures. At the top of the group, we've got various services that offer 3D 360 images with dots on a floor plan, and they can link to various spots in the home. My survey is that people just don't like it. That's older. I surveyed it a while ago. That's an older result. There was, pictures were warped. There was more interactions required to learn about the home. None of that showed the home vacant. None were narrated, highlighting the home's key features and benefits. It was just kind of like, listen, how much more are they really going to learn than if they had a look at the pictures and maybe some floor plans? Like, not much, right? And by the way, and I went out the other day and I wanted to make sure that this was still absolutely 100% true. And I couldn't find an exception to this. And this is a huge missed opportunity. The third party providing these services I just talked about, the marketing is off the realtor site. It's on their site. much less not having hooks or catches to catch that traffic. It's on the provider's site. And by the way, I'm like, oh my God, like, why is this so extreme? I actually called the provider and like I said, do you have options to take, the service you provide, that little applet of your, 3D shots and dollhouse, that kind of stuff, and paste them in it? Oh yeah, we have that. I'm like, okay. So you have the ability to put this stuff into a custom web page. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And I'm going to go ahead into the future. By the way, I was here before the internet. Actually, I was here before fax machines, but I don't want to date myself too much. But I've seen the impact changes have. And over time, you learn and you can get a good instinct for what's about to occur. And I've been successful in the business primarily because I've been ahead of opportunities. And if you can get ahead of an opportunity in business, and by the way, you want to see this current stuff coming up, you want to be ahead of it, you need to start preparing for it now, but it can still benefit you now. So what I'm going to be showing you is stuff that can benefit you now and prepare you for what's coming. Before I do this, this is only like a minute. I'm just going to show you a clip, because in all the stuff I showed, you actually may not know what our marketing looks like, actual marketing. I'm going to show you a quick little clip of this, and that, so that we have an understanding moving forward. Check it out.
As we enter the home, you'll immediately sense the quality found throughout. You are first welcomed by the home's foyer, featuring an updated main door, upgraded lighting, vinyl plank flooring below, and a closet for storage of your outdoor items. From the foyer, we enter into the home's gorgeous family room that was fully upgraded in 2019, featuring large European-style windows that overlook the property and provide ample natural light, and open and close from both the side and bottom. A beautiful wood fireplace with stone surround to warm up the home on those chilly evenings, vinyl plank flooring below, recessed lighting, an upgraded ceiling fan, and a pine tongue and groove cathedral ceiling, giving this room a truly grand feel that will wow any guest. From the living room, we enter into the home's gorgeous, well-sized eat-in kitchen.
Right, so that's a little piece of what we're doing now, and you'll notice that it utilizes virtual environments. So let's talk a little bit, before we can move on, we've got to have a couple of definitions thrown in here because I'm not exactly sure where you guys are. You may know all this, but just need to know. The metaverse is a term used to describe a shared virtual space online, generally visited by avatars. An avatar is a figure representing a particular person. It can look exactly like them or look nothing like them, by the way. VR, virtual reality, that we'll refer to as VR, is a simulated, immersive experience that can be similar to the real world, or, by the way, completely different from the real world. Like there could be monsters climbing out of a hole ready to eat you. Or it could be very similar to like in a home. Augmented reality, AR, an enhanced version of the real physical world. So we can see the real physical world, and there's items that we can see in the world. Just a couple of things to think about. Facebook rebranded to Meta, and I'm sure probably a lot of you heard about that. They spent approximately $10 billion in 2021 alone on metaverse hardware and software. Apple, I don't even have a figure on it, but they've been in development for AR and VR devices since 2013, and they're close to a $3 trillion company. So you can only imagine how much they've been investing in this. This is going to be absolutely huge. And the second you think it's not coming is the second you'll be struggling to catch up. Apple's going to release stuff. The first thing they're going to release is virtual reality. So I see this as early adopter stuff. I don't see people running around with these type of headsets on. But it is exploding right now, by the way. And this will be bigger than you think. But where I'm really betting is Apple Glass is coming out sooner than you think. It's going to be adopted very, very quickly. And that's going to be the augmented reality where things, you start interacting. There's talk of it eliminating, you won't even have your smartphone anymore, because it's like, initially you will, but ultimately you will not. Interacting, I don't have smart glasses on here, but interacting with things in your life is going to be very similar to stuff like this. And I don't know if I look younger there, but we were playing around with this stuff more than probably 6 or 7, maybe even 8 years ago. So a couple of other little things. There's places online that is selling real estate right now. So one just sold for $4.3 million, but that's nothing because they own 2,500 plots of digital land across 19 worlds. And this is according to the Wall Street Journal. Concerts are selling out online. You've probably heard about this. Online concerts is getting crazy popular. And companies such as eXp Realty, the one I work for, offers virtual spaces for collaboration, learning, and support. Listen, I started doing well because I spent the time and the money to fly to conferences like at least once a year, off most of the time twice a year, and or visiting realtors, and to get in rooms with realtors that were better than me. And that's where I learned. And here's the thing, actually the realtors that I would fly to meet, they're in the eXp virtual environment. Now I can go see them anytime I want. Like, the collaboration is incredible, and it is a virtual world. So this stuff is getting huge. So I'm going to show you a sample of what we believe the future is going to look like. And then we're going to talk about how you can utilize it today and how you can prepare for it. But let's show you what we think it's going to look like. Check it out.
Welcome to the Real Estate Office of the Future.
Hi, this is Kevin Flaherty. We've entered a virtual reality environment of our real estate office representing the services that we provide. We envision the future of augmented reality with people being able to look at 3D floor plans so that they understand the layout, textures, and materials of a home. They can even, in the comfort of their own home, go into the virtual environment. When it comes to virtual reality, what we imagine is an avatar of yourself showing clients a home in real time, or your avatar could be programmed to provide automated responses when you're not there. If we were to go into a virtual environment of a home, what we imagine are informational icons displayed that can present video or photographs or narration. Since it's our job as realtors to highlight a home's key features and benefits, we can do that in a number of ways, displaying information throughout the home. Now, even if someone drove to the home and was in an actual showing, standing in the actual home, wearing something like Apple Glass, they would still see these informational icons, which, again, will highlight the home's key features and benefits, since the showing realtor may not have ever been in the home before. So for an example of, so virtual environments, it'll be a while before they are exactly the same, although they're to scale and very accurate. It'll be a while before they're exactly the same. Plus, we use these environments currently for video narrated 3D animated online showings. And we know that based on surveys, people want to see the actual image of the home as well. So we envision the same thing happening in a virtual environment. Here's an example.
The home's large eat-in kitchen is truly the centerpiece of the home. This magnificent space features natural alabaster countertops and backsplash, a center island.
So these virtual environments are very informative. They can make people feel obviously like they're in the home. This is a much more immersive experience with an actual virtual headset, but you're seeing it in a 2D screen. But they can do other things, like when someone's looking through the home and they don't quite understand what's on the other side of this wall, an advantage of a virtual environment is they can see exactly what's on the other side of the wall. Now, if you're like most realtors, this level of technology and showing that is being used even today. In fact, our team has been using virtual environments just like this one. We've been creating these for over 10 years. Over a decade we've been doing these. Now, the virtual environments have only been used to create video narrated 3D animated online showings to move the person through the home and show them what it's going to be like when they turn the key on closing and make them intimately familiar with the layout. That same technology, exactly the same, is and has prepared us for what I believe is the largest opportunity in real estate I've ever seen, and that is the metaverse. Now, if preparing these type of things can benefit us today and prepare us for the metaverse in the future. If it seems overwhelming to provide this level of service, since we've been doing it for 10 years, we've amassed a great deal of knowledge, systems, and assets that make building these 10 times easier. We call it Architect, and here's a little bit more about it.
The home's large eat-in kitchen is truly the centerpiece of the home. This magnificent space features natural alabaster countertops and backsplash, a center island.
All right. I don't know if that scared the crap out of you, but hopefully I also showed you guys there that essentially this can be easier. Remember, a unique selling proposition, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it and wouldn't have much value, wouldn't distinguish you. But it's easier than you think, and you can pull out various components of the services you've seen today, make them your own, and throw them out there as your unique selling proposition and distinguish yourself from other realtors in your marketplace. So with that, Melissa, do we have any questions on that?
We do. Thank you so much. Okay, question 1, is this what they call Web 3.0?
Is this what they call Web 3.0? This doesn't represent but this doesn't represent 1% of what Web 3.0 is. So first of all, I guess, just so you know, understand what we refer to, Web 1.0 happened between about 1990 and 2005. And what happened is in Web 1.0, it was kind of like an online encyclopedia. That was about it. There was web pages, there was static. You just went on there and you could get information. And by the way, I was playing with websites in 1995. My first real estate website went up, I think it was either 95 or 96 or 97. I had a website, and I'm pretty sure I was one of the first ones in Canada, probably a handful of people, agents. But I was there. It didn't do much for me, by the way, but I was ahead of when it started becoming popular. By the way, it wasn't long before Realtor.ca wasn't even online. We had books back then of houses. And when Realtor.ca came online, and I was already set up with a web page, and I immediately started driving traffic into it, that's what launched me. That's where things changed for me, because I was ahead of it. So I've learned the lesson to be ahead. Now, Web 2.2, basically what we're in now, from 2005 on, but we're at the beginning of Web 0.3. Now listen, I'm scared to tell you what I think, because I think it's radical, but listen, it is when the Wright brothers discovered flight, that's about where Web 0.3, that's how dramatic the impact on our society is going to be, because Web 0.3 is about ownership in the internet. The only thing we can own right now really in the internet is like our domain name, and it's controlled by huge organizations that we participate in. This is changing everything. People are buying assets in the internet. Right now, it seems to be confined to, collectibles and art. By the way, there was a young kid just not long ago sold some of his digital art for $70 million. Like, these transactions are occurring, and there's ownership in the internet now. By the way, it's about decentralization. That's going to be what change. That's a game changer. That's why cryptocurrencies are a thing in the internet. But the decentralization and the ownership, it's a completely different game. And by the way, if you don't know things like what a smart contract is, you write contracts for a living. It's not an immediate threat, but like I said, you plan on being around in this industry for a while, you better keep your eye on this stuff. NFTs, non-fungible tokens, like, if you don't know what that term means, instead of watching Netflix, go on YouTube and check this stuff out if you want to have the shit really scared out of you with respect to your industry, because this stuff's coming. This is just a little sample of how we can initially benefit from the future. Yeah.
Awesome. One of the comments, Kevin, was this will only scare people that aren't forward thinkers, right? Is one of the comments.
Yeah, when I was into computers, things crashed all the time. There were nightmares like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that now. It's a lot of it's end user stuff. I'll give you an example of architect. We've been building assets for a decade. So fridges, stoves, doorknob, different things that we drop in. We have a library of assets included in Architect. Architect is a Cinema 4D plugin, if you didn't pick up on it there, if it flashed by too fast. And we've created this so that it really sped us up. And by the way, generators, so you saw the stair generators, like, we used to have to build everything. Like, if we measured the house wrong and we went to build the kitchen, it wouldn't fit, right? And by the way, when we were doing it initially, we had to have, like, even now we have a server room, we have to have heat control in the server room, because we have 30 plus computers in one room that we had as a render farm. But with Apple's recent innovations with M chips, it's changing the game. You're not going to need a render farm. You're not going to need to build everything. By the way, we could throw all these assets online and be selling them right now, believe it or not. And we put it into Architect. We're not making it available, so Architect remains unique. It can build these 3D environments very quickly. By the way, as an individual realtor, if you're having a hard time figuring out your email settings, this isn't going to be for you. But if you're young and you want to jump onto this, Absolutely. You'll be doing this. Or if you're a team leader or a brokerage owner, just like me, I hire one person. And by the way, we'll train your people free too. So you get the asset free and we'll train them free as well. So stick around to the end and figure out how you can get that.
Awesome. That's great. Thanks so much.
All right.
All right, Kevin, we'll talk to you at the end. Next up, we have Mr. Jay Kinder. Welcome, Jay. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Great. Awesome. Well, we're excited. Just to give everyone just a quick overview, Jay's a real estate entrepreneur who went from small town kid to master business growth strategist, recognized throughout the real estate industry, and will today tell you how to double your business playbook. Jay, we're excited to hear from you. Enough from me. I'll turn it over back to you.
All right. Yeah. So the thing that's always fun about whenever I get introduced is it doesn't have any of the pitfalls, challenges, failures, and all the struggles that come along with success. And so just know that if you're going through a struggle in your business and you're trying to figure it all out, that is part of the journey, and you have to embrace the struggle. So hopefully here today, I think we can show you a way to the shortcut to success is what I would call this. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. Okay, and you're going to hear some things that you've heard already a few times today. So I've been listening in throughout the day, on and off, and really, I think I caught most of it. And first of all, it's an honor to be here. Have a tremendous amount of respect for Kevin, and I'm lucky to be in business with him as a business partner with him at EXP. And really, the things that he's showing is the future. It is the way that things are going, and he is on top of that. And it's been impressive to watch. So appreciate him having me on here today. All right, so I'm going to go full screen here. Hopefully, there we go. That goes. And so what I'm going to show you with today is I'm going to share with you guys an opportunity that I don't believe most agents even have an idea exists. In fact, I know they don't. So it's why you should partner with us. And we're going to show you how to grow your business, make a ton more money, and build an exit strategy without ever having to pay us a penny, giving up a percentage of your commission, or paying for coaching, training, or technology ever again. Sounds like a tall order, right? But that's what we're going to be covering today. And I think this is going to blow your mind. I know that there's a movement that's happening right now in the real estate industry. It's going to create more income and wealth for agents across the world than anything in the history of real estate. And most of you have no idea the opportunity even exists. And so a little bit more about me, like I kind of mentioned, got into real estate, like most people, for the opportunity and really the freedom. I thought there was going to be more freedom than there was originally, but that was the reason I got in. And much like what Kevin had explained earlier, you buy everything you can, you go to events and you try to find agents, that are growing their business and learn from them and getting those rooms where there's people that are successful. That was exactly what I did. I spent a lot of money going to be a part of those rooms and learn from agents and see things that were possible that I never would have learned otherwise from the agents that were in my office. There was no incentive for any of the agents in my real estate office to share with me what they were doing to be successful, because if I did what they were doing, it would probably make them less successful, or it would be taking leads or something off of their plate. There's no real incentive for them to help me. And so I learned early on I had to get out of the real estate office that I was in and learn from others. And my best year, after many years of struggling to figure it out, I sold 531 homes my best year. I was number 2 in the world for Coldwell Banker a number of times. And ultimately, by helping a buddy of mine that got into real estate, and the funny part of the story is, when he asked me what I had done to be successful, I didn't really have the answer, right? You do a lot of things and you try a whole lot of things, and somehow, some way you end up being successful. But because Mike came to me before he had even gotten his real estate license, he got the same exact website that I had that was generating 300 leads a month right out of the gate. So he was able to build his business to $1 million in GCI. It took me 6 years to do that. So he did it in half the time. And it's because he didn't make all the mistakes along the way. And it really just proved the point that I think Kevin made earlier is that when you have the right people helping you and supporting you and that are around you, you can take the shortcut to success. I think one of the biggest challenges that we all face in real estate is that there's so many things, even just today on what you guys have learned today and what I saw, there was a lot of things you could take away. But what is the right steps in the right order? And that's usually the biggest challenge. There's maybe too much opportunity and not having clarity on what are the right things based on where you're at, what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are. What is the right steps for you to take to really accelerate and grow your business? And so we created a company. It was Kinder Coaching originally, and we kind of moved that into what was called the National Association of Expert Advisors, is what company we have today. And we trained many of the top agents in the world. And we learned, as we've already mentioned here a few times, that find somebody that has done what it is that you want to do, and ideally has a track record of success of helping others do it too. And that's a big piece of the puzzle. You might meet an agent that can say, hey, yeah, you should do this, but when you have someone that has a track record of helping other people become successful, that means that they have systems in place to help those agents with growing their business. And that's really what you need, is somebody who has a system. And I love what Rick was sharing with what his services, what they provide. Some of those things, like I even saw in Kevin's video that he had already posted, that he shared while we were here today. I was like, man, how did he get the digital thing on the dang video so fast? Like, those are little things that when you have the right team around you, and the right people that can have the systems to help solve problems for you, can make your life a lot easier. So I'm gonna have to get a side note and reach out to Rick and see what I can do to get signed up for that service. But and so over the years, it's like not a very good picture, but this is the Exponential Growth Summit. So we did these events. It's a terrible photo, but over the years we did these huge events, and I got to look under the hoods of all these agents' businesses. And the fascinating thing was that after looking at thousands of agents' businesses, that we basically boiled it down to the 8 stages of business. There's basically 8 stages in the real estate business, and typically what happens is you get stuck at one of these stages. And as you look at from transaction standpoint, there's 0 to 14, 15 to 25, 26 to 48. And I know that there was a survey done earlier, but even as you grow, you encounter certain challenges at every stage of the business. And there's certain things that you have to learn as the business owner, and certain skills that you have to learn in order to move to that next level. And so there's always going to be something that you need to learn. But generally speaking, what we found in all the rooms that I've ever spoken in front of, literally probably at this point, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of agents, is that most agents get stuck generally in stages 1 through 3. And it's generally marketing and sales that's the biggest challenge that they struggle with, and it's how to get customers, right? And so, today one of the things that I heard Kevin talk about quite extensively is the differentiating yourself in the marketplace. How do you make your value visible, and you look different than what it is that other agents are offering? Otherwise, we look like a commodity. And so this is something that we focus on. We built systems and tools and training and certifications around the business and the challenges that you're going to face, and some done for you services that go along with that to make it easy to implement for yourself. And so, but pretty much at every stage, you're going to find there's something that you haven't learned yet that you'll have to learn in order to move to the next level. And that's not uncommon. But generally speaking, I would say that if I could show you how to consistently get 2 to 3 customers every month consistently, like building an oil well that was always pumping oil for you. If I could show you how to solve that one problem, that would be the one problem that would make you the happiest. That's generally what happens whenever I meet with most agents. And so that's really what we spent most of my career and helping agents do, is remove the obstacle that's in the way and help them accomplish their biggest goals and move on to the next challenge, because that's what comes next. Unfortunately, it's not just an easy path to success. You're always going to run into new challenges along the way, but you want to have the right people around you to help you do that. And so my goal today is to show you a business model so that you understand how we're going to be able to do this for free. Because if you don't understand why we would be motivated to help you and not charge you any money, and how it's even possible, then it's not going to make any sense. We're also going to show you the benefits you're going to get immediate access to, and we're going to show you how to take advantage of a passive income opportunity that's unlike anything I've ever seen in the 25 years that I've been in real estate. And the result of this today is you're going to learn how to dramatically and consistently increase your commission income and grow your business, eliminate the cost associated with paying your broker, dramatically reduce your expenses for technology coaching and lead generation, and create wealth through building an asset and a new passive income stream for your real estate business. And so here's the problem. Most agents aren't getting the support that they need to grow their successful business, and are left to kind of figure it out for themselves, like we talked about. That's how Kevin has found success. Rick mentioned the same thing. I copied the same thing, said the same thing, and that was my experience as well. But the more success that you have, the more you end up paying into your brokerage. Typically, you're working for a company that has a franchise fee that really never ends. So my dad had bought a Coldwell Banker, and there was a 8.5% when you included the ad fee that was taken off of every transaction. So no matter what my split was, I still had another 8.5% I was paying that never stopped. And most of the successful agents, you're going to go out and have to pay for your own mentorship and coaching and training, and all that is paid out of pocket. And unless you're resilient enough to figure it out and spend the money and fly around the country and meet all the agents that you need to, you end up with a business that ultimately that takes away your evenings and weekends with no real exit strategy. Like Kevin mentioned, the funeral, the typical retirement party for an agent is a funeral. So there's a lot of flaws to the real estate industry. And I saw in the poll that you guys plan on being in the business for a long time, just like I had planned the same as well. I wanted to be in this business for the long term. And so you want to make sure you're, if you're going to build a house, you're not building it on a foundation that's on top of sand. You want to build it on concrete. And so this is a powerful place to do that, and a powerful way to do that. So what makes this different is there's an agent-centric brokerage model that financially aligns the top people in the industry and the top brokers in the industry to your success, making sure you're successful. Us waking up every day doing things to make sure that we can help you grow your business. And so if you think you have seen EXP, I would tell you, once you really truly see this opportunity, this partnership, you can't unsee it. That's typically what is the first thing I said was I said no, and then I really looked at it and understood the huge opportunity that we have. And I'm going to tell you about the 5 disruptors that you may not be really truly aware of, along with the partnership you get with us. First of all, there's an innovative cloud-based brokerage office. Equity opportunities, industry-leading lead generation and technology. This is a big deal. Every person I've ever coached in my life, they came to me, they would pay $1,500 a month for coaching, but then they would need to have a lead generation platform, some way for them to use technology to lead generate, run ads, that kind of thing. We could help them with exactly what to do, but they still needed to pay that money. So you would make them pay $1,500 for coaching, and then now you know what to do, but you need to go buy the tool now, and now you got to spend another $1,000. So you're spending $2,500 and you haven't even generated a lead yet. So it's very difficult for agents to be successful with you're paying that kind of money out. So all of these things are included here when you partner with us at EXP. And agent-centric alignment and support. This is the big piece we've been talking about. Having us is to help you and guide you and share the things and knowledge that we have and tools that we have that we can help you with growing your business. And then, as mentioned, the revenue share opportunity. I'll talk about that towards the end, which I think is the biggest opportunity I've ever seen. This is our founder, Glenn Sanford. I believe they will do a movie about this guy at some point. We're the fastest growing real estate company in history. Glenn founded, EXP is the first cloud-based brokerage in 2009. I think Kevin might have been a little bit earlier than him into this world in terms of understanding technology. But Glenn was the first to create a company that was cloud-based and really allows us to and enables us to all work together within this ecosystem. And so it's a pretty, looking back today, it's brilliant. But I think in 2009, he was way ahead of his time. And he did it because he understood the struggles of having to open brick and mortar offices everywhere you go and all of the costs associated with those models. And so when you change the brokerage model, the first thing you have to understand about the brokerage model is the broker serves the agent, right? So the broker serves the agent and agents serve the buyers and sellers. And so and if you want to change the game, you have to change the game so the agents win. That's the game. That's the game that they're playing. In game theory, if you change one element of a game, the entire game changes. And what we've done at EXP is the top agents and brokers and join EXP. The only way that they can win is if they help you win. So there's no opportunity for them unless they can help everyone else win in the company, which is an awesome way to think about it. And so this is a quote that I think was really relevant to how Glenn Sanford was thinking about EXP. So if you're a leader or someone who works for the interest of a community, you first make sure that you understand the interests of the people who make up that community. In this way, you will have a good chance of minimizing, perhaps avoiding the us versus them mentality. The reason I share that quote is because I remember my dad having a vision for his company when he owned the Coldwell Banker and I was selling real estate. And all I could think about was like, I'm okay with whatever your vision is, as long as you're not trying to mess with my split. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't truly financially aligned to the success of the company because I didn't own the company. It wasn't my opportunity. It was his opportunity. And so that was the way I was thinking about it. But if you can get everyone to be in alignment financially, working together, then in the company be the what allows that opportunity to exist. Now you have a very unique thing that's happening where everyone helps each other and everyone wants to make sure that the company is doing well as well, and not just the agent. It's not just about us together. It's about the whole, and we call it the golden goose. And so, well, does it work? Yeah, I'll say it's working really well. So across the United States and Canada, we're now at 72,000 agents. I can't update this thing fast enough. And I literally just built this presentation recently, like in the last week. but 70,000 agents. We're the fastest growing company in history. When I joined 4 years ago, there were only a little under 5,000 agents that had joined the company, and we're sitting here 4 years later at 72,000 agents. So this company is growing extremely fast. And anytime you see any kind of growth like this, you have to figure out, well, what is it? Why is this working? Something is working here, and what is it, and why is this working? And so we're going to unpack that a little bit here. And as far as international, the opportunity is way bigger. We're going to 1 million agents in 100 different countries over the next 10 years. That's the vision for the company. We're in 18 countries now. And so if you know people or want to expand or have business potentially in other countries, this is a way for you to do business in under the EXP global umbrella in any country that you want, without any of the other costs or additional fees in order to do so. Also, commercial, something that's growing really big within our ecosystem. If you do commercial business, EXP commercial is some of the things that they're working on is what really needs to be solved in the commercial industry. If you're in commercial, you probably know what I'm talking about, with access to listings and technology to really help you with growing your independent commercial business. So super, if that's something that you're into, this is something that we can share and talk about on a separate call or whatnot. And so first, let's look at the model. Here's what a typical franchise model looks like. If you think about it, there's the independent owner at the top, or an international company that has ownership on the left-hand side. They go and they sell regions. They split up the United States and Canada into territories, and somebody owns that region, and their job is to go do what? Find franchises, recruit franchise owners so that those franchise owners will own those territories. They'll go build bricks and mortar office and staff and spend all the money to build that out for the opportunity to recruit agents. And so here we are as agents at the bottom of these models, and we're paying royalty fees and franchise fees and things of the like. And we're paying that up to the top of the company, and that never stops. There's never an end to that, the expenses that you have as an agent. And what happens is they typically split that money with the regional owners. So the regional owners actually were the biggest winners outside of the independent owner at the top, whether it's a Keller Williams, a Coldwell Banker, or Century 21, or Royal LePage, whatever it may be. The regional owners typically would get revenue share off of what the money is that you pay in, and royalties back to the top. And so, the agent's perspective, and this was certainly my perspective, as I was growing my business, was, I'm paying these high fees. I don't have any ownership. And I don't really have any opportunity to own anything. If I'm going to sell my business, it's in the franchise. I don't really have a business to sell. And there's limited support. Generally the support's not the best. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes you can find your broker for a question, sometimes you can't. And then the training is certainly not what it needs to be, because if you look back, most of us, especially all the people you'll find that are successful, had to find success outside of the bricks and mortar offices by finding agents and other people that were having success elsewhere. And so that's pretty much the traditional model. If you're somewhere other than EXP, that's probably somewhat what it looks like. EXP model is completely different. What I love about EXP is that we become the owners. As agents, we get ownership in the company. We have equity opportunities I'll talk about in a moment. And it starts, though, with the biggest piece of this model being disruptive. And this is how you know it's disruptive, is there's a disruptive technology cloud-based office. So that's the disruptor. So now there's no need for regional owners, and there's no need for franchise territories, and there's no needs for bricks and mortar offices. Not to say that you can't use bricks and mortar offices, but there's no need for it when inside of this business model as it relates to EXP's model. And so with that, Glenn decided to make the agents owners of the company. EXP Realty, you can look it up. It's EXPI. It's a publicly traded stock on the NASDAQ. And the big question that happens when this change was made was, well, how is this company going to grow? I mean, somebody bought the region, maybe they pay $500,000 for the region, and with the opportunity to recruit agents, or if you bought that franchise with the opportunity to recruit agents, somebody was going to recruit because you bought that opportunity. The difference is now agents have the opportunity to share in that revenue that would have been paid to a regional owner or to a franchise owner. And that's how we grow this company. And so it's called word of mouth marketing. This company grows by way of word of mouth. If you tell a friend and you come over and you love it and you're earning stock and you're earning a little bit of passive income and we're helping you grow your business, you're going to tell your friends and they're going to want to come too. And that's how we've grown. And that's why we've grown so fast up to this point. And that's why we're growing like crazy right now in Canada. It feels like in Canada, really the last year has been a lot like my very first year at EXP in the United States. It was growing like crazy. A lot of people had heard about it, but they didn't really know that much about it. And they certainly didn't know this type of an opportunity really existed. And so So innovation is always happening, no different than none of us today are going to get in the car and go drive down and look for a Blockbuster to find the movie we want to watch tonight. And for me at my house, I don't know about you at your house, but I have something that shows up. I mean, I live in Puerto Rico, so it takes a little bit longer to get stuff to me in Puerto Rico. And I'm sure with the snow that where you guys are having right now in Canada, it's probably a little bit harder to get your packages as well. But for the most part, there's something that shows up in my house every day. I don't really have to go anywhere to get anything. And Amazon, that was a disruptor. When I first started, I remember the first books I ordered on Amazon. I never dreamed that everything in the world that I order is going to show up from Amazon someday. And it's the same with EXP Realty, where they're disrupting. There's no need for you to get in your car, freezing cold, get ready, go into the office to get training. That can be done online. That can be done seamlessly. That can be done from 2 clicks of the phone, and you can get that same access to world-class training all around the country. And so these are the types of things when you have a broker question, when you need something, anything, or you're trying to find some help, you can be through access to your phone and through EXP World and some of the technology that we have, you can instantly get that information without ever having to leave the comfort of your warm home. So that's a very, very much kind of an obvious reason why this is working so well is it's not necessary for you to have to go into a physical brick and mortar office in order to get those. And we all learned that specifically, over the last couple of years due to COVID and the lockdowns that were all across the world. We all learned how to adapt. Now, I still will tell you that, my kids screaming and yelling in the background is not something that I still enjoy dealing with it when I'm working from home, but it's something that we learned to adapt to, and so did everyone else in the world. And so EXP World is transforming the real estate experience. This is EXP World. You can go in, there's specialized departments. And one of the interesting things that happened during the lockdown that I found really was that first month, really, everything was like really strange then, right? But when we were, I was on a call with one of the, actually it was one of the co-presidents of the company at the time. He said, we have not rescheduled one single meeting. And at the time, I think we had 800 employees at EXP, and they were already working from home. This was the norm for them. The difference was everybody's kids were home now. But we didn't reschedule one meeting. We were already working in this environment. We don't have a physical office where everybody that's employed for EXP works. They're scattered all around the world. And so nothing changed. You were able to go in and check on your transactions that you had going and find out information, whatever questions you have. You were able to do all this stuff seamlessly, and it seemed brilliant at the time. Obviously, when those kinds of questions were happening, when I don't know how we're going to get a hold of Susie. I mean, we haven't talked to her in a week. So those are the types of things that were made it really difficult to communicate, where this business model made it seamless and much more convenient. Large scale meetings, we do huge meetings. We did huge events with thousands and thousands and thousands of people able to attend right from their homes without having to buy an expensive ticket, fly across the country. You could hear the best speakers in the world, and you could do that all in EXP in our world. And so that was just something that that you're going to get used to. The ease of use and the way of communication is just so much faster and so much more efficient. And so here's some of the solutions you get with EXP. What all's included? When you join EXP, you're going to get all of these tools: EXP Enterprise, SkySlope, Workplace by Facebook, a CRM and lead generation that Kevin mentioned earlier, which that is KV Core is the tool that he mentioned. It's a best-in-class tool. It's a front-end website. It also has the ability for us to, to IDX into your MLS, so you can do real live, live property searches and different types of ad structures that we use that we do all the time for folks, and we help you with these types of things. This isn't something that you have to figure out for yourself. We've already learned how to do all these things. We just needed you to have the tools so that we can help you with your business when you come join us at EXP. So real-time support, it's quick, it's on demand. You can do it straight from your phone. You don't have to jump into the world to do that. It's super available. Whenever you need something, there's always someone there to help you instantly. It's very, very helpful. Live training, over 50 hours of live training each week. If you feel like you're not getting the training that you need, or a lot of the things you learned to hear today was great information, these are the types of things you're going to learn from the top agents in EXP all the time. The top agents in the company all around the world are the ones that do the training at EXP. It's part of the system. So amazing training from top people. It's live, interactive, and then you can also come back and watch it. It's recorded later. It's recorded so you could watch it later if you had to miss it or you had something that you couldn't, a schedule conflict. EXP Enterprise, this is your really your financial dashboard. This is your CFO of your business. You can see your agent details, your commission and cap information, your revenue share, which we'll talk a little bit more about, agent equity awards, and how much stock that you own. All those types of things are here in real time, and you get access to that. SkySlope, this is your transaction management tool. If you use it or not, you may have some other tools that you've used, but SkySlope is one of the top tools for that. It's also included for managing your transactions. Workplace by Facebook. This is probably the most underrated, best tool I've ever seen. Workplace is basically for all of EXP, 2,100 employees, all the executives, everyone in the company, plus 72,000 agents around the world. You'll join the group for your province. You'll join the group for overall Canada. You'll join groups for lead generation, for KV Core and tools and things of that nature. If you're into yoga, there's probably a yoga group in here you could join. And so there's pretty much anything and everything that you get to connect with everyone in the company across the world, the top agents in the world, collaborating and sharing their best practices, people doing videos, much like what Kevin's been doing here. All of those things, having access to that in real time. And when you have a problem is amazing. And so an example I always use with workplaces is to kind of get your head around, well, how does this work? Imagine you had a seller that needed an open house done this weekend. You might jump into the local, for me, North Texas was where I was from before moving to Puerto Rico. And I was a part of the Texas state group, the Dallas state group, and then the North Texas state group. Well, if I had an open house that was in the North Texas area, I would say, hey, does anybody want to hold this open house? And someone will respond, and I'll have an agent that would be willing to hold an open house for me. So those are just instantly able to get information and answers to questions and broker questions when you have questions, things like that. Those are, especially if you're newer, those are things that this is just much more efficient for you. And so very, very effective tool of communication. And again, always right on your phone. You don't have to drive into an office to have that kind of information. CRM and lead generation. I mentioned this is the KV Core tool. This is just one of the most powerful tools there is in the business. If you was just to go buy this one tool alone, you probably would pay $700 to $1,000 a month for a tool like this, or to go just purchase it straight from KV Core. That gives you access to full-blown CRM, follow-up systems, all the things and we help with exactly how to use some of this stuff. There's plenty of trainings on how to use the tool, but we'll help you with how to lead generate and do it at a low cost. Marketing and branding, all the things that you need, you can imagine for your business. Breakthrough Broker, which is an amazing tool for anything you can imagine, not just from business cards, but brochures and social postings, all those types of things. You save your favorites. It makes it easy to use. You can use it in the click of a button. Very, very good stuff there. Now, stock awards. Here's some of the two things I think that are the most exciting, are the two things I'm about to share next. Stock and awards, build equity while you build your business. Most of you mentioned you want to be in the business for the next 20 years. And so, being in the, having been in the, Kevin's got me beat barely, but, being in the business 25 years, I can tell you that there is nothing at the end of the career for you. There's not an exit strategy, and currently in any business model that I've seen. And so when we saw this, we were really excited about what they're doing here at EXP. And so you're going to earn shares. It's a publicly traded company. Like I mentioned, it's on NASDAQ. You can look it up. Look at its stock. The stock has done over the last 3 to 5 years. I think you'll be impressed. I think you would want to be an owner, and you'd want to be given these stock awards. And so these are stock awards that vest. So these are just for doing production things that you normally do. So when you close your first transaction, which you're going to do every year anyways, you're going to get some shares of stock. When you hit the cap, which we'll talk about the cap at 16,000 here in a minute, you're going to get stock for that. They're going to give you some shares of stock. And then when you bring an agent, let's say you tell a friend and they come over and they name you as the sponsor, you're going to get some shares of stock. Those are all stock awards. The Icon Award is you have the ability to earn the 16,000 cap that you pay into EXP back in stock in the company. And there's some production that you have to hit for that, and some cultural goals within that anniversary year. But you can earn that 16,000 back in stock. So those are stock awards. They vest over 3 years. So they're issued to you, and then they vest in 3 years from the anniversary date of you getting those awards. So that's just an award. I used to get trophies and plaques and all those types of things, and I tried to take them to the bank. They won't take them. They're not worth anything. I would much rather have had stock all these years. Now, if you're going to be in business for 20 years, I don't know what the stock would be worth at that, at the point in 20 years. I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you that I think most of us would be happy if we had it, if we did. And so that's again, it's a really nice to have for a career that doesn't have any kind of an exit strategy. Another thing that you can do, and I always highly recommend this if you're joining the company, is you can actually enroll to take 5% of every commission that you close and purchase the stock at a 10% discount. You don't have to do it. That's your money. You can choose to do it or not, but it's a nice mechanism. It's hard enough in real estate to save to pay your taxes, much less to save for the future. And so this is just one way that you can kind of be putting something away for the future and not think about it, not have to make a decision. You can turn that switch on or off. You can say, yep, do it, or don't do it. And that's just an opportunity. That stock is yours. It doesn't have to vest. You can sell it the next day if you wanted to. So that's the equity opportunities. These are those awards that we're used to getting. And at EXP, it's a little bit more valuable what you get at EXP. And that's just for doing production. You're not doing anything other than you're already doing. So pretty cool stuff. These are some icon agents. They do these announcements, and you still get the regular awards they give out and everything as well. But this is something that is completely different than any other company we've ever seen. And so this was an example of an agent that basically joined in 2018 in January 1st. We use the numbers from January 1st. And generally speaking, 35 units in production, it's going to be way less in Canada, I can tell you, because your average sale price is a lot higher. But this is what it looked like for that agent. They earned shares in 2018 for becoming an icon. They did it again in 19, 20, and 21. So 4 years later, the stock, based on this, going back historically, an agent that joined us on January 1st, 2018, would have a stock value today of $476,737 based upon that join date, and had hit icon all 4 of those years. Now, I can't predict that the future stock is going to be worth that much, or it's going to be worth less, or it's going to be worth anything at all. It could go to zero. That's what stocks do. They go up and they go down. But I do believe that this is a big piece to the business model that's certainly better than having nothing, which is what most of us are getting now. So compensation. So there's no desk fees, no royalty fees, and no franchise fees at EXP. It's an 80-20 split. Commission split, $16,000 cap. So you pay $16,000 in EXP, you go to 100%. After that, it's a $149 startup fee, and I believe the monthly fee for the cloud brokerage fee, which is all the technology and all of that, is $150 a month. So in Canada, it's $150 a month, not $85. So this is a US based presentation. I didn't think about that before I started, but so that's $150 a month for the cloud brokerage fee. And the broker review fee, we can review this at the end, and I'll have Kevin give some clarity on if any of these numbers are wrong. The risk management fee, which is is $40 per transaction, that caps at $500, and there's a $25 broker review fee. So there may be a little bit differences there as it relates to the Canada numbers, but we'll go through that here at the end. So that's very straightforward. 80-20 split, 16,000 cap, and then 100% after that. Healthcare. So this is another thing I'm not sure in Canada where we're at with. I know this is something that we rolled out in the United States, and I imagine that we probably will in Canada, even though it's probably not as necessary out here. You guys have good health insurance there, but this is something that we deal with in the United States. And not having healthcare is something that a lot of agents and a lot of agents don't have. Our agents are able to save $8,000 a year in savings that move over to the healthcare that EXP offers, and 80% of out-of-pocket expenses while getting to keep an open network for any doctor. So again, that's probably not relevant for you guys, but this is very relevant. If nothing else, this is maybe the most relevant. So revenue share. This is a life-changing wealth creation opportunity. I honestly I won't even do it justice, but I'm going to share with you as best I can what this is and how it works. So I believe that at some point in every person's life, if you work hard enough and long enough, that you will be looking for passive income in your life. You'll be looking for a date where you can stop working if you wanted to. And that means that you just have enough passive income coming in from whatever investments that you have or whatever resources that you have invested that you don't have to work for that money. It's passive. And so the revenue share is paid monthly in cash, not stock or anything like that. It's paid monthly in cash, deposits right into your account. And it's regardless of your production. It doesn't matter if you're in production or not, you still get paid your revenue share. It's like getting paid off every transaction from anyone that you ever bring into the company. It's like getting a referral fee, a little referral fee off of every agent forever, as long as they're in the company. You have the support of your partners, us, to help you with. We have a vested interest in helping you with every aspect of attracting agents, supporting agents, and helping them find success. And you're going to get this while you get to help other people with their business. And so what we do at EXP is we get to help agents grow their business and help you find success. And we get rewarded by your performance. If you perform and do well, then we get rewarded. If you don't, then we don't. So, we have a vested interest in helping you become successful. Otherwise, we don't get paid anything, right? So, and revenue share is the only passive income source that I've ever found that doesn't require you to have millions of dollars invested. So if your plan was to buy a bunch of real estate, then you still have to put money down and invest in that real estate. And that takes time to be able to create. You have to save money after taxes to be able to invest. And in this opportunity, you don't have to do that. And so if you brought a friend over tomorrow, you start getting paid tomorrow off the transactions that they do up until they cap. So, and here's an example. So if you were to look at what are all the ways that you can get to freedom, right? Like the game we're all playing is let's get freedom, time freedom, like the ability to not have to work, but I might choose to work if I want to. I think most of us that are in real estate all say the same thing. Well, I'm never going to retire. And I feel the same way. I'm never going to retire either. I don't sit on the beach too well, even though I live on the beach. I don't really sit on the beach at all, but that's not how I'm wired. But at the end of the day, this is basically the structure of how you get free. Your freedom number, I don't know which one of these numbers fits you. If it's 4,000 a month, 8,000 a month, if 16,000 a month would do it for you. But in order for you to have that kind of monthly residual income, according to the safe withdrawal rate of 4%, which was a Trinity study that shows that that's the safest amount that you can pull out of your investment per year. In order for you to have $24,000 a month, which is pretty good, I think that would work for most of us, you would need $7.2 million safely invested after taxes and after your living expenses in order for invested in order for you to be able to live at $24,000 a month. I don't know any real estate agent, and on this chart that I've helped coach over the years of helping lots of really top agents that even have $1.2 million in cash saved and set aside to invest so that they can have $4,000 a month in income. So it takes a lot of money for you to be able to retire. And at EXP, you get to bypass all that. So I'm going to break these down into 3 quarts just so you can see what it is. But if you go to EXP, dang, I don't remember the URL. I think it's on the bottom here, but I think it's exp.com/income. I'll get you the URL if it's not here, but it actually has this graph on it. You can read through. This is the actual numbers for 2020. We don't even have the numbers for 2021 yet. So this is a year ago. We've almost doubled since then. And so these numbers are going to be way different because there's double the number of agents, which means if those agents are producing, then there's going to be a lot more income that is being earned from agents within this revenue share program. And so this is just an example. There's over 10,645 agents that have earned at least up to $10,000 in additional income in revenue share. That was for 2020. So a lot of agents are successfully earning just at least a little bit, up to 10 grand. That's a lot of money. 14,600 agents earned between $10,000 and $100,000 in passive income. That's not starting to get a lot more exciting. So a lot more agents involved in the revenue share, and they're earning between 10 to 100,000 in 2020. And then there was 3,611 agents that earned between 100,000 to $1 million in revenue share in 2020. And if you look, greater than $1 million, there was 85 agents that earned more than $1 million a year in passive income. I can tell you there's a lot of agents that are doing that. So the opportunity to make $1 million a year in passive income is a very real opportunity at EXP. And we're going to show you a little bit more about how to do that and how we help you with that. So this is the way it's structured. So anybody that sees something like this, you probably instantly kind of are aware, okay, well, this looks familiar. It's very similar to how Keller Williams structured their profit share program. The difference is this is revenue share and it's paid off the top. And if you look at the structure of this, what this comes from is this is where innovation happens. This is what's called a network marketing compensation model. And network marketing is just a way to take a product to market. So, so example, you could take your product and go to Walmart and they'll distribute it all around the world and they'll sell a whole lot of it, but you're going to make a little bit off of that. And you'd be lucky if they would put it on the shelf. And so that's one way to get a product brought to market. Another way is through word of mouth. And so in word of mouth, that means that we're going to have to compensate someone to make it worth their time to go help grow a business and bring a product to market. Well, the difference here is we're not selling pills, potions, or lotions. We're actually just selling real estate. So the product doesn't change, but the agents are the opportunity. And so if you invite agents to the company, you earn revenue share. The company pays 50% of all revenue paid into the company. It's actually an adjusted agent income. So you pay the agent, splits out whatever the company retains. They pay 50% of that out in revenue share. And the way they pay it to you is for every agent you bring, you earn up to $2,800 as they close out transactions. And if you, the more agents you invite, the more you help grow the company by adding agents to the company, the more they reward you. So they give you a second tier of compensation. And so once you've brought 5 agents into the company, you unlock a second tier. And that second tier is $3,200. You're making a little bit more off of the agents that somebody else brought into the company. And this goes on and so forth, all the way down to unlocking the 7th generation of compensation, which I can tell you, I probably have almost 3,000 agents that are on my 7th tier that I'm making $4,000 up to $4,000. If they're not closing deals, every time they close a deal, I get paid. So if they're a capping agent, I would be earning, you can do the math on that. It's a lot of money. It's not exactly going to pay that out because they're not going to all be capping agents, but that's the opportunity just on that one level for me to attract 40 agents to the company. So I can tell you for sure, I didn't know that it was going to do that. And I didn't talk to all those people, but that's how this company grows. It's just people who tell other people who tell other people. And that's going to naturally happen and grow. And I've been in the company 4 years. I've actually only It's kind of pathetic. I've only recruited an average of 2 agents a month. So I'm not, I think I would have been fired if I was hired as a recruiter. But that's turned into now over 9,000 agents that have came into the company that I get paid on a monthly basis. I can tell you that's a very, very nice thing to have. Here's an example. So like you have a choice. I'll help you sell more real estate. If you want to, you should, number one, mathematically, it's going to be almost impossible that you shouldn't join EXP. I don't think there's anything that we could argue that would make sense for you to stay where you're at most of the time, if we were being really truthful and honest about it. So this is one example. So in order for you to have $36,000 or $3,000 a month in passive income, that's 900,000 at 4%. That's that same numbers we looked at earlier. That's one way. And I'll spend as much time as you want helping you to grow your business so where you can save $900,000 after taxes, after your living expenses. So you can invest that to make the $3,000 a month. That's one way to do it. Here's another way. Just open up the gate of the mind. This might be an easier way. If I could help you to introduce 6 people that end up joining the company over the next year, and they were capping agents, we'll assume that these are productive agents, and they're like, yeah, this makes sense. I'd love to be partners with all you guys. That would be $16,800. And now let's just assume that because you unlocked your second tier, and because these folks also know friends and have people that they know in the industry that might be interested, they had 6 people that joined. Each of them had one person that joined. That would be $3,200 on the second tier is $19,200, the same $36,000. That's the point. The point of this slide is to say that's one way, save $900,000 after taxes and expenses, or let's just see if we can find 6 people who can find 6 people. I can tell you which one of those is easier. Okay. So my example when I joined the company was this was the example we were looking at. So we were trying to say, well, here's my freedom number. I've been trying to get to this number my whole life. I wasn't there yet. So $350,000 is what, I could comfortably live on and say, okay, I don't have to have any more than that. And that's, that would be nice. So I need $8.7 million after taxes and living expenses in order for me to accomplish that. Or I could invite 10 people to join this company. I think I could find 10 people that believed in this idea enough to join, and 10 capping agents, that'd be 28,000. And then I'm just going to focus on helping those 10 find 10 more and see if I can help those agents with growing their business or whatever it is they're looking for. So if I can add a lot of value to at least 100 people's lives, that would be something that I thought I could do. And so that's $3,200 on that second tier, which is $320,000. We're talking about $29,000 a month, $348,000 a year in passive income just by helping 10 find 10. And so it's not going to ever work out that way. I think the first 10, that I brought, some of them, one of them brought 35, one of them's brought 12, 4 of them have 4, 2 of them have 2, whatever, and several of them have none, right? So that's not, but you'll find whoever it is that knows people and is open and has a friend that might want to join or whatever, and that's the way the company grows. So that's the example. That's just the beginning. I'm making way more than that. I'm making that a month at EXP right now, and that's not something that I'm saying everybody could possibly do, but I do believe it's still possible for people to do. So crazy stuff. And, if you want to plug in and listen to more of what, these stories of agents that have joined EXP and partner with us, you can go to your favorite podcast studio and go to One Big Fire, search One Big Fire, and just listen to the stories of other agents that we've helped, other partners of ours that are part of the Honey Badger Nation. And when you partner with Kevin and you're partnering with myself, that means you are becoming a part of the Honey Badger Nation, which is one of the largest groups in the company. And it's an amazing opportunity. Become an owner in the fastest growing company in real estate and history. And we'd love to have you. And I'd love to have, Kevin, the best next steps, I think, Kevin, maybe if you want to hop back on here, is, to set up a time to have a conversation. Everybody's at a different place in their business. I believe the best thing that you can do is to have a conversation about where you're at, where you're trying to go. And if we can help you get there faster, then maybe consider that this would be a good partnership for you. So, the best part about this, this whole conversation today is that nobody's got a credit card. Nobody's asking for a credit card. Nobody's trying to take your money, which is what you typically would find after a day of an event like this, of this caliber. And hopefully you got a ton of value out of that. And that, you see that we might be a good couple of people to partner with and help you grow your business.
Hey, that's a great job you did there. The bottom line is there's so many tools, so many benefits of EXP. It's really, really, really hard to summarize into a short conversation.
Yeah.
That you did a fantastic job there. You were moving fast, a lot of it skimming, but
yeah.
So if you want to learn more about this, you can jump right into my calendar at kevinscalendar.ca. Melissa, if you want to throw that into the chat.
Well, I've also put in the Honey Badgers honeybadgeragents.ca as well.
Right. Learn a little bit more right there, or you can jump right into my calendar, or if you go to honeybadgeragents.ca, you can jump onto my calendar there. Yeah, so that was, I think that's about it. Any questions, Melissa?
There are no questions right now, but we'll put it out to anyone. There is nothing as it stands right now. But that was awesome. Super powerful afternoon. Thank you so much, Jay and Kevin and Rick.
Yeah, Jay, first of all, I want to say, listen, I don't know how many people recognize you in Canada, but you are an absolute, you can't go into the US. Jay's a rock star. Everybody knows who he is there. Rick, you did an absolutely fantastic job. He's out of our space, so chances are you didn't know his name, but he is a legend in the B2B space for sales coaching, training and assistance there. And I mentioned it once already, but if you guys think you want to do something like an event like this, Into Communications, IN, the number 2 Communications. This is, listen, I showed up with my partner, Jay, and Rick. Basically, they put it all together for you. They did the heavy lifting. They did the advertising. Melissa, you have been absolutely fantastic. I can't thank you enough for what you've done here today. Great job. Really happy the way this worked out. I hope everybody got some value. That was the benefit. That was the goal here, was to show people and give them value. So hopefully they liked attending and they learned a few things about how to drive their business forward.